super excited for that one too.
Joe is the beard I'm going for.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Joe says, I'll back replicator when Rob tells me I'm his favorite. You are my favorite, Joe.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Studio says tonight is one of the greatest launches. Too bad Malin is not here to see it. Actually, that part is okay.
Well, in his defense, he's literally on another stream talking about it.
I know.
That blew my mind. That I gotta leave. It's like I gotta leave my meeting with Paul McCartney so I can go do a podcast with some losers about the Beatles. And I'm not calling them losers, but
wait, who are the losers? Are you getting
No.
yourself in trouble?
That was a bad thing to say. That's not what I meant. They're not losers.
Who are these losers, John?
Okay. Joe M. Sontag says, "Hail John and Dale, meeting that we've all been waiting for."
That guy, Joe Sontag, is the guy who showed you stuff.
I didn't.
Oh, Joe's a great guy. Joe, you know what? He's a great guy.
No, I didn't.
Joe did a great show.
I meant my theoretical Beatles podcasters were losers. I did not mean my fellow commentators were losers. Not at all.
Bro, good save.
Do you think they'll buy it?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another JMS Talks. Tonight we're gonna cover a controversial subject. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the panel thinks. But before I go, I have not talked to this dude in a long time. I have not seen this guy in a long time. Steve, what's
I'm
going
like
on?
herpes. I go away, then I come back, then you regret that I was even here. So there you go.
Wow, that's I don't know how to take
But
that.
I'm glad to be back.
Well, it's good to have you back. Good to have you back. We also have Comic Book Bob here. By the way, happy birthday, man.
Yep. Thanks,
man. How's it feel? How's it feel? Come on. Come on.
I wish I had my old knees.
Well,
it feels an awful lot like 49 did yesterday.
Oh, okay. I got you. Well, I wasn't gonna throw out your age like that. I was just saying happy birthday. But
Take
you know,
a look, Joe. This is the future, man. Enjoy your knees while they work, son.
Like the ghost of CG future. Like
it's like that. It's like that scene in Saving Private Ryan where young Matt Damon turns into old Matt Damon.
Yeah. Something to look forward
Everybody
to.
in CG gets beanies when they get a certain age. It's
Yeah.
like you get a beanie and you get a beanie.
Well,
It's to cover all the defects.
Yeah, we were talking about it before we went live. Like, you know, I've been dealing with looking older than I am for a while now, like with the gray hair. Like, yeah, I'm only 40, but I look like I was 40 when I was like 30. So, yeah.
You were at the concert.
Steve looks like a fresh young. You're a fresh young lad.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. I'm making 39 look good, dude. So.
Could you imagine if Steve shaved his face? What he would look like? He'd look like 18 or something.
I've gotten orders from the wife that like I have to give ample notice.
Like a kid from the 50s. Like, gee, Dad, I didn't mean to get an AMR report card.
Well, that and she would have to have notice because she would probably book a room at a hotel for at least 4 to 5 days before you start getting stubble back on, and then she could look at you again. I think that's what it is.
5 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I would have to have that. Yeah, exactly. You don't trust me. You don't want to see me without my facial hair. It looks weird as hell. That's for damn sure.
Kids don't recognize you.
I don't recognize me. Leandro, did you see this? We just went on here. Leandro quick crammed the entire series in so he could jump on and talk with us. So I sent him the link. Dude, you got the link on Twitter. Jump in here so you can talk about it.
He was like watching it at like three times speed. Like
probably just
he's probably yeah. Just
I don't get what that was. I mean, that was
fine.
Awesome,
Keep moving.
That was
I saw this.
Yeah, just
I saw
Yeah,
like
get in here,
Uncle
man. You got
Owen
the
for a
link.
minute, and then like he disappeared, and then he came back at the end of it. Like,
Say out of the chat real quick. We got Tarks9, a member to the JMS channel. He says, "Hail Joe and Sean. Sean's not here tonight, but I will pass that on to him for sure." We had Rick Sailor in the house as always. Hail Rick. I invited Rick on, but he said he doesn't watch this shit. So Pickle Rick, understand.
I don't get it. I don't get it, man. He has such a time. Rick can only collect so much and absorb so much. So I get
That's a good point. That's a great point.
I mean,
we got crazy
store in his house.
We got Crazy Mad in the house. Who day? What's going on, brother? Who is a certified Star Wars expert, by the way.
Yes.
So you know, at some point, I'm gonna.
He goes around Galaxy's Edge and like casts his finger of shame at everything.
That's right. It says Rick Sailor, it's apples and oranges. Star Wars is greater than Star Trek?
It's not hard now. Like newer Star Trek,
that's true.
it's not
Star
hard. With Picard and
Disco, yeah, it's not hard, man.
Yeah, it's horrible now. Maybe old Star Trek. Like I'm a fan of old Star Trek. Generation and Deep Space Nine. I grew up on that shit. That was good to me.
Bullshit Rick and Morty like ripoff called Lower Decks.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Damn, dude.
So
I try to watch one.
That's supposed to be canon.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be canon and shit.
It's so bad.
Yeah, that's not good at all. We got Citizen Ronan in the house. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Mike TV Dub. He said, "I'm here for the opening song." Yes.
Well, thanks for stopping in, Mike.
That's a cool idea, man. It's like you're taking these pop songs and putting these metal.
Did you find some DJ Cumberbund? Is that where you're pulling that from, Joe?
No, I just look up mashup songs because I'm a fan of mashup songs.
That's a good guy for mashups.
Yeah, I'll have to check him out. No, I just like the combination that people can put songs together, and I love both of those songs. So when I found that, I was just like, this is the opening for my show.
That's right.
I've got a couple others I'll use too.
And what's cool is he's like a big wrestling nerd, so he always finds a way in all of his mashups to put the Macho Man in it.
Ooh yeah,
yeah. He either does that or he has a clip or some like craziness.
Awesome.
Hulk Hogan, like
we've got Leandro is in the house. Like I said, man, you got the link. It's in Twitter. If you want to jump in and join the conversation, go for it. We have Zach Fernandez in the house. He says, "Hail Joe, hail the chat, hail to you, brother. Good to see you." Let's see what we got. We got Hicksville, and he says, "Sup?
What's up, Hicksville?
Good to see you. Thank you for
being
here
tonight.
tonight."
Regulars on the wrestling council.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Oh shit, we got Eric Hutfuls. What's going on, man? I haven't seen you in a second.
I missed this. I miss Joe reading people's names bad.
Oh, welcome to my show, right? Yeah. Like this is all night long. All night long it's going down. Eric said this stream is shadow banned so bad it wasn't even showing as live on my sub list. I had to go to your channel page to find the stream. Really? That is
I put it out on the Twitters.
Yeah, I tweeted it out too, but that is interesting. Someone is killing the fun. We got Huron the Steadfast. He says, "Hail everyone, hail to you." Stippling Vaughn's in the house. Haven't seen it, won't see it. George's canon. Disney is a corp circle jerk. Ooh, that's true. That's true. I can take it. Looks nasty, and only those involved think they're satisfied. Oh shit, that is a strong take. I dig it.
That's some heel heat.
Yeah, I like that. That came with some heat. We got Scottley in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. What is Crazy Man said? Scottley, stop after Voyager unless you want pain. Man, Voyager was.
You know what you can do with Voyager? Because it was set in the Delta Quadrant, you can just let it go. Like you can just literally do Next Generation, you could do Deep Space Nine, and that's it. That's all you need.
Oh no, man, you gotta watch the seasons when 7 and 9 come on.
That's true. That's the only reason to watch that show.
I was of age at that time. I was a young teenager, so I could appreciate 7 and 9 then.
Yeah, Jerry Ryan got a lot of young men through their teens.
I say I appreciated her a lot. When
that was some must-watch TV.
Yep.
Before we go any farther, guys, I just wanted to say big shout out to everybody. Reaper Destroyer made it over 44K today. So thank you to everybody that's backed and the backer that sent us over today. I love you guys. We got 20 days left in the 60 funding goal. So I just want to give a shout out. So every time we hit another, I don't know what this would be.
You hit 40,
it's a milestone,
you hit over 40K.
Yeah, every time we hit another bracket, I like to take a shot if we're on stream. So it's just a shot to the fans, to the backers, everybody out there that supported the project. Thank you so much. Please go check out Reaper Destroyer if you haven't already. All right, that's the promotion. Here you go. This is to you. Hopefully that clears up my sinuses too. It's been bad. It's been bad.
Are you drinking, what is it, LaCourte or Lamort?
A little Jameson.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. This is my backup. This is my backup because
for the type 2s in the house.
Ooh, there you
Liquid Death. Dan Fraga approved Liquid Death.
Arx, I liked Voyager. Eric says I liked Voyager. It wasn't as good as the Next Generation or Deep Space Nine. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I agree. Deep Space Nine and especially Next Generation. I still watch it every once in a while. Me and my wife, I think about 2 years ago, sat and watched all 7 seasons. Binge watched it over a few weeks, and I still love that show. It was great. It was great.
Deep Space Nine, yeah, dude, man, it's freaking Shaft in space. Come on.
Yeah.
It's the one part of Star Trek that they still won't ever go back to and explain what the hell happened to Sisko. Like he ascended, and then after that, we're like, oh, we don't know how to explain the rest of this.
Oh well.
Yeah. Use your imagination, kids.
Yeah, the ending wasn't the greatest for me. But hey, we're not here to talk about Star Trek tonight. We are here to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Season 1 essentially is what it's called. Who knows if there'll be a season 2?
Yeah,
there'll be a season 2.
Yeah, that probably will be because of that factor. But here's the thing. I wanted to talk openly about the season because Star Wars, it's a controversial thing right now with everybody. I didn't want to do fake outrage just because it gets clicks or gets views or whatever. I want to have an actual conversation and talk about what was good about the show, what was bad about the show, what we hated about the show, and overall, was the show any good? Because I do think that there were good things to take from what they did amongst a lot of the bad. So I wanted to jump into it. I wanted first, before we go, and again, any guys that have the links, feel free to jump in here and just join the conversation when you come. But Steve, I'll start with you. We'll go around the horn. What were your impressions of the show in general? What did you think of it?
I mean,
chat too. Go ahead, chat. Just go ahead and plug
your
comments in there.
It's okay. I would give it a good. It gets a passing grade. I mean, in comparison to the other live action iterations that Disney has offered us, this is slightly better. It's slightly more akin to more Dave Filoni-esque material, like your Star Wars Rebels. There was a shit ton of references to Star Wars.
There was a lot of references to Rebels in this one.
So if you haven't watched it, it's great because literally you could stop Obi-Wan and start watching Rebels and you won't skip a beat because there's a lot of stuff that they set up in there. If you've played The Last Jedi, the whole Cal Kestis game, this is going to pay off for it too.
There was a lot borrowed from that too, man.
Yeah, so they kind of took bits and pieces of it. I mean, does it have replay value for me personally? Not necessarily, but at the end of the day, it hit my inner fanboy notes because I got to see Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi again. I got to see him be badass at the end of it. Obviously, he was having his ass handed to him in the first half or 2/3 of the show. But there was a lot of good. And I know that everybody gets this like nerd hate boner that they just have to hate Disney for it. And it's like, oh, because they did this. And it's like, well, then just don't watch it. I get that it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
But I'm not going to subject myself to Miss Marvel on Disney Plus because I know that shit's not meant for me.
Miss Marvel.
I'm not a Kamala Khan fan. I don't like the character in the comic books, so why would I watch the live iteration of it? I was going.
I agree.
An open mind and good intentions because I'm like, Ewan McGregor didn't run back to do this role. He thought about it. Disney obviously backed up the Brinks truck because they even got Hayden Christensen to come back too. That was the only guy that I didn't personally understand why he really came back until the end. Like him being there as Vader, like the guy who was in Rogue One, I thought could have done just as good a job.
Yeah, he was a good Vader in Rogue One, but I actually enjoyed Hayden Christensen coming back almost as a redemption in general because he got shit on so hard with the prequel trilogies.
He couldn't do anything else afterwards. He tried to do that movie.
He really didn't. Like his career didn't really go anywhere.
He tried to do that movie Jumper, which was kind of like about like teleportation people, and that had Sam Jackson in it.
That was actually that was all right. That wasn't bad.
That was a good popcorn cheese movie.
We got Kevin Wolf in the house. Hail, Kevin. We also have Ja Rowe jumped in here. Good morning,
you need
sir.
To change
good to see you.
Leandro and I are on next to each other.
Oh, I can do that. Wait. There we go. Fusion.
The fusion brother.
There we
Touch
go.
hands.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
All right, before we get to the rest of you guys' impressions, we have let me get some of these comments here that were pouring in. Crazy Mad said the good Vader overpowering Reva without a lightsaber. That
was
good.
boss
I
level.
agree.
That
That
was
was bad.
dope.
That was badass.
Him ripping apart a fucking
Starship.
ship.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
we'll get to some of
Force
that
Unleashed.
stuff too, because that there was some good shit there. Scottsley said I thought Mando was way better. Mando to me is still the
Different
cream of the
vibe.
crop for it, but yeah.
It's a
Kevin
different
Wolf
vibe.
said it was terrible. Another nail in the coffin, already sealed shut. Hey everyone, hey brother, good to see you.
Well, I don't think there's going to be winning too much. So, sorry, Kev.
Eric says I don't support Disney, so I haven't watched it. My enjoyment of Kenobi was watching Anna Doomcock and Robot's Head scream about it. Yeah, you know, and I completely get that too. Yeah, Book of Boba was trash. I was not a fan of that, except for the two
What do you
episodes.
mean? You didn't like Boba Fett riding a Rancor?
No, I did not. No, I was so disappointed.
Dude,
I was
see,
so
that's the
disappointed
thing, man.
with that show.
Too many people.
Or
look
what
at,
about
like,
the Power Ranger
yeah.
scooters?
Yo, God.
Yeah, that was bad too.
You mean the
That's bad.
Silver Lake Cyborgs?
The Mod Squad. It's like they can afford. It's like you guys are on Tatooine and you're complaining you can't afford water, but you got these friggin' tricked out scooters and shit. Sell your scooter, dumbass.
With Buster Ass Inspector Gadget that looked like Doctor Who with his go-go leg.
Oh,
They
God.
look like
they
they look like a bunch of Californian cholo bikes. That's what they look
Yeah,
like.
exactly. And I think that's what they were meant to look.
I was
like.
just saying, I bet that's what they were
It's
trying to
Robert
go
Rodriguez. So
Dude, the mirrors
Yeah,
were
exactly.
the worst part.
Exactly.
I'm like, and then how slow they were.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point?
It's like
What
they're
is
like
that? What is-
mopeds, dude.
Crazy Matt said not
not
everything Disney has done is bad. Not everything George did was good. That's a good take.
Agreed.
I agree with you on that. Hicksville said Kenobi was would have been better as a theatrical movie, which I've been actually saying that exact same thing. Cut out a bunch of the Inquisitor nonsense and use better effects.
That's
Yeah,
what
they
they're
could have.
building on though right now. The Inquisitor thing is the hot shit because of the video game that came out. They're trying to play into that and beat that dead horse for every penny it's worth.
Yeah, she was a that's what I'm saying. She was a bad she was like a bad version of the second sister is what it comes out to.
Yeah.
And see, there's a lot of things that you guys probably know that I don't, because I didn't watch the Clone Wars or Rebels cartoon. So I know that there's a lot of canon stuff that they use, especially with Filoni, with his direction now that I don't even recognize. So a lot of it is just newer stuff to me. Like it doesn't resonate. So you guys kind of pick up more on that than I do. I didn't even know what the hell the Inquisitors were until I was reading about the show before it launched.
Yeah,
they
it was,
didn't do the best of that. There was a lot of kind of Doctor Strange assumption going into this that you have watched all the shit that happened before it.
yeah.
So it's like, all of a sudden, like, why are they here? Why do they have red lightsabers? Why does Vader have a whole posse of Hot Topic goths that are running around collecting Jedi?
Yeah, it's and honestly, I think if a lot of people that did know about this stuff were the ones who were the most upset about it, because they're looking at this going, why did you borrow from this? Why did you take from this? Because this show straight up borrows a ton from Rebels, and it borrows a ton from the video game. Dude, like, almost the entire plot of the video game was like superimposed onto this show. Now, whether that was intentional or not, who knows?
Well, the video game's getting its own live action adaptation.
I know. That's the thing. That's why. But yeah, like the character of Reva, she was just basically a less interesting version of Trilla from the game.
And honestly, she was a character that did not need to be in the show whatsoever.
It was, to me, the impression I got was this show, if one, it felt really rushed. There's only 6 episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely rushed.
Felt really rushed,
yeah.
but it felt rushed because they were trying to do 3 stories at once. They were trying to do Reva's story, they were trying to do Leia, and they were trying to do Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and trying to fit that into
Obi-Wan and
6
Vader
episodes.
were
That
kind
didn't
of
make any
together
sense.
though, so
Yeah,
I kind
true.
of put them together. So it's almost like they try to do 3 stories in one. And if you only have 6 episodes, it's kind of like I feel kind of like the same way I felt about the last season of Game of Thrones. You're taking all this stuff and you're cramming it
into a siphon in hopes that it makes one diluted thing that everybody's going to be able to digest.
And it's like, and I think they were relying too much on the member berries You know, it's like, hey, remember this? Remember this from Rebels? Hey, remember this from Fallen Order? Remember this? You know, like it's like remember that part where they got cut in the face, and it's like too much of the member berries. I think they were relying on that to kind of fill in the gaps of the show. So
what I dig about it is that the sole fact is like if you liked those little bits in the show, you're gonna love Rebels because it's Filoni unfiltered. He doesn't have to hold anybody. He doesn't have Kathleen Kennedy sitting in the back saying add this character or add this or add the Inquisitors. He got to go write his own thing. He really got carte blanche. And a lot of the times when he turn around and go, hey, is this canon? He'd just literally go, hey, George, is this good? Am I doing the right thing? Okay, cool. Because I'm going to add this to it.
Yeah, George said everything that came out of those tunes are canon.
Yeah.
He gave
Which we'll talk about canon for a second too, because I think there's so many people who are talking about canon breaking stuff. And I do want to bring up the fact that George broke his own canon when he went back and did the prequel movies. So, I mean, it's a tradition that canon gets broken in Star Wars. So it's not that big of a thing to me, or at least not that big of a thing where I get up in arms about it. But the chat is, I guess, it's a funny chat you guys got going on here, making me laugh.
Dude,
last we meet again for the first time for the last.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you, like one of the things in the last episode that I went, "Are you freaking serious?" Was this ship chase? I'm like, this feels like it's right out of Spaceballs, man. Like with the I'm like, you guys can't take the time to do some cool like when in Empire when the Millennium Falcon was being chased by the Star Destroyers. They did some really, it wasn't just I'm going back.
I skipped over that. I'm going
for it. It was like, oh my god! And then Vader's like, increase firepower. I'm like, did you forget you have freaking TIE fighters?
And
entire squadron
and a tractor beam.
That's
and
something
they did establish that they had the TIE fighters too. They a rows
not
of
even
them.
that. He's like, hey Vader, do you guys want to use the tractor beam? No.
just make our lasers shoot faster.
Shoot more awkwardly at them.
That goes back into the absolutely bad writing of the show. Like the show suffers from very bad writing, cheesy dialogue, poor character development in a lot of ways. As much as there, you know what? All right, let's just do this. Let's jump into the bad. We'll jump into the bad of the show. The stuff that really stood out is bad for us because there's more bad in my opinion than good. And then we'll end the show on a high note. We'll just talk about what we liked about the show and the cool things that they actually did. So Leandro, you just watched this. So we're gonna start with you and then we're going to hit Bob and we'll go to Steve. But what was bad for you since you just binged this thing so that you could
I literally just binged. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna like this. I know I'm not gonna like this. 10 second skip. 10 second skip.
Well, Scott's you kind of did the way Scott's was just saying, like they should just release it all at once and you can binge it all through. Yep. That might have been more of an enjoyable watch, but maybe not. We're here we're gonna talk to the guy that just binged it.
Well, I think what I didn't like was when they had Darth Vader and they didn't have the consideration to have the march. I was like, come on.
A lot of people complained about the music. And they were happy about that in the final episode at the very end. We started getting it. But all through
it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they goosebumps,
They didn't have it until the very end of the show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That was the first time that they actually brought that in. I don't know if they did it on purpose, to kind of lead into something. I don't know, but you're right. That was a missed opportunity.
No, because
the very first time you saw Vader, you could have had that off the bat.
When Vader was walking through, when all the Inquisitors and everybody was kind of like gangway, gave him the path to walk through. When Obi-Wan was looking through the little window, he's like, "Who's that? Who's that?"
Yeah.
And then Vader started walking through. That was a perfect moment to use the music. You know what I mean? It would have given you goosebumps, because you finally see him coming there.
It would have been cool. Or at the very least, like kind of like put it underneath the new, like they've done that before. Well, you'll hear just like a little bit of it underneath the new theme. Just give that hint of it, you know what I mean, or something like that. They didn't. So yeah, a lot of people weren't happy with the music choices.
I thought the bad was definitely the whole Leia thing when they were trying to chase her and grab her.
Oh my god! The most competent 9-year-old in the universe.
You didn't like the basis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I was just going to say when you could avoid Flea Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, just come on.
Now I understand what all the joking was because I saw the Benny Hill music underneath it. And I'm like,
We're gonna get you, little girl.
there was
Uh,
even a part where Obi-Wan had a chance to grab her, and he just kind of like, and I'm like, what?
the most competent, intelligent, amazing 9-year-old in the entire universe.
That's for sure.
I'm like, wait a minute, isn't she supposed to be like the whole idea for the original movie wasn't she a spoiled, like she becomes a very competent person, but she was kind of like a spoiled
in the beginning
princess.
of New Hope. Yeah, she definitely was spoiled.
I
in
love
New
the
Hope.
pseudo force that she uses to dunk on her cousin.
Yeah,
that was so very.
Yeah,
like she reads him and says some shit, and she's like, "Bitch, please, no."
Yeah,
like, and then just like walks away.
Oh god!
So she's like subtly using the force to read people's temperaments and like,
Mean Girls later.
On them. Yeah, Mean Girl later.
I will say this. I'm not a fan.
Like, you need to apologize.
I'm not a fan of kids in this kind of stuff anyway. Like they annoy me. The same thing about the
No kids in Reaper Destroyer.
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, no kids in Reaper Destroyer. That's right. There's none. Yeah, the Phantom Menace. When they had the very young Anakin Skywalker, I absolutely hated it. I hated it at the end of the movie when he goes flying up into space to do this.
That's pod racing.
Oh,
yeah, I was just like,
Gosh, geez, guys, this is freaking fun.
So right off the bat,
people are dying.
right off the bat, I was already done with the whole Leia thing. Not because it was Leia. I was just like, I'm not here to watch kids. I'm here to watch Obi-Wan, have a rematch with Vader. That's just what I want to see. Now,
well, then this goes into the other thing I didn't like. I'm sure
go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
The whole what was it? The interrogation scene.
Oh my god!
And Reva against
she
the
doesn't
little
know
child.
shit about anything. She's lived her entire life on Alderaan.
Oh my god!
I'm thinking, wait a minute.
Yeah,
she was able to get into that fake Jedi's mind and figure out the location. She can't get into this child's mind.
She could just go, no, she doesn't know shit.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, there's a lot of things that they didn't tap into the Jedi powers in this movie. Where there was a couple of scenes. In the second episode, maybe, or the third episode, where I'm yelling at the screen to Obi-Wan, I'm like, use the mind trick. Like when he's in that
doing it like Arnold.
I'm like, come on. Yeah, like use the mind trick.
Do it.
Use the mind trick. Do it now. Like,
understand, he's cut himself off from the Force. He's not as powerful as I'm like, wait a minute. Wasn't that your whole freaking thing? Was that you're supposed to protect Luke? You're supposed to go there to learn these new techniques and stuff?
Right, and he did none of it.
No, here's my thing, all right? The Jedi, it's a freaking religion. You just don't forget to use the Force. You just don't.
Yeah.
That brings up Hicksville's comment here. He just said, I don't understand why Kenobi was struggling to use the Force in the beginning. If you don't use it, you lose it rules.
Yeah.
And this just goes back to the bad. It's bad writing, kind of like what Crazy Matt is saying here about the.
But he is a master. He's not no freaking.
Yeah, he's a master, right? Exactly.
And he was sent there to do more training. That like Yoda gave says you got to do more training.
He kind of got to Tatooine and said, "Fuck it."
Yeah, he just basically went. He's like, yeah. Now what I would have been okay with is if they had because of his guilt when he faced him the first time, he just wasn't focused.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah. He was like when he first faces Vader the first time, he's like. That's why he's so conflicted. He's so conflicted and everything. He can't focus. He's not what he's supposed to be doing. That's why he loses. That's why he's having trouble. I could understand that, but not this whole, I just cut myself off from the Force and I forgot how.
Well, that goes into the other thing I didn't like, the other meme.
Yeah, Crazy Matt says the bad shooting the laser post instead of walking around it. That was, again, bad writing, bad situational storytelling, I guess if that's what you want to call it.
Even knowing that he's Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader letting her live, knowing
that a lot of that shit doesn't make any sense.
Not only that, letting her live, and then she fails him twice.
Yeah,
and he lets her live again, and then there's the big reveal at the end where he's like, "Oh, I knew all along." I'm like, no, Vader doesn't do this. Vader doesn't tolerate failure.
Right.
There's only one person that's ever failed him and still lived, and that was Admiral Piet.
Good point.
But you know,
Good
the
point.
original Inquisitor did say, "Oh, we used you, rage, and
Used
your
her for
rage
what,
is why
though?
you're still alive." And
Use
Yeah.
it for what? It's
we
like
knew it would drive you. Because
Yeah,
initially I was like, "Yo," because in the first episode, her drive.
Hail,
I
CB
was
Smallwood.
Like, Yo,
Good
that's
to
like
see
a
you.
Sith thing. Her drive, her wanting to kill people
Max
at a
Santiago.
moment's notice, like that should be embraced. But these guys were like dogging on her in the beginning. I was like, "What the fuck?"
And then her drive at the end after she gets stabbed, she's like, "I'm gonna go to Tatooine and I'm gonna kill Anakin's kid."
Now
Okay,
that apparently,
okay.
apparently, only Qui-Gon Jinn dies from getting stabbed in the stomach.
I was just
Everybody
gonna
else
say,
is fine an hour
Or
later.
gets turned into
apparently
a
you can
cyborg.
get stabbed in the gut with a lightsaber now and just be cool.
Or
And
get
just be
shot in
cool
the
and you
gut.
survive it. It's no
Yeah,
big
or get-
it's
or
no
get
big
shot
deal
in the
anymore. Yeah,
Shot in the gut with a bowcaster.
that pissed me off so bad because at first I was like, oh, cool. I was like, they're actually going to kill this character. And that would have actually made me enjoy it a little bit better because of the arc of that character. I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. She tried, she failed, she died. It would fit into, what Vader was like up to that point, up to the point where they walked away. I was like, that's badass. Like he just fucking, skewers her with that fucking lightsaber. I was like, that's cool. That's cool. And then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah, just in case
with her own
remember,
lightsaber.
if the chat is wondering about her, she is one of the Padawans that was
Which
supposedly
is a dead
killed,
giveaway. They
but-
do it in the opening episode. You know that's
Oh,
her.
yeah,
I
they
turned
didn't
to my
hide
wife
that.
And I went, that's Reva.
Because she's the
I
only
probably
black
skipped
girl
over
and
it. I didn't know
she's the
till
only
the
black
end.
girl with a bunch
I
of
must
white
have
girls,
skipped over
white
that.
kids around. Like that
Well,
was
here's the
not
thing.
hidden very well.
Was
It was not
anybody-
hidden very well.
That's another thing that I thought was this show was incredibly predictable, which
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's
She's
like
too dangerous.
everybody knows exactly why, and that was like one of the big complaints everybody said was that as an Inquisitor, she's not scary, she's not intimidating. Because you look at all the other Inquisitors, there's something inhuman about them.
I
You know
love
what I mean?
Uncle Owen not giving any shits about her.
Oh yeah, he's just like, whatever,
Like, whatever,
lady.
bitch.
Yeah.
I've known Anakin Skywalker. You ain't gonna scare me.
Yeah,
You know, I watched him
It's
slaughter.
like
I
know
watched
a
that-
dude.
I
that
watched him
slaughtered
go off on a
everybody.
bender one night and kill like 50 sand people just because his mom died. So
Yeah, but yeah,
That's-
it's
that's-
like the whole time everyone's like, well, she's not scary, and I from the beginning was like, why she's not scary?
he's gonna be
Because
good.
she's actually going to be a good guy at the end. You're
Well,
supposed,
yeah. I think that was so obvious from the beginning that they were going to turn that character good. The character was written very poorly. The actor didn't pull off the intimidating.
Well,
No,
So, like that first
actress-
episode, it was so cringe. I was like, come on, like get out of this scene because like she's not selling any of this. Like there are some
I think she
actresses out
suffered
there
from
that can
bad
pull
writing.
that off.
I think
well,
she
here's the
suffered
thing.
from
I don't
bad
blame
writing.
her for that. I blame
No, the writing was
director.
bad.
I
Yeah,
blame
no,
the
I-
director
yeah.
because she
Yeah, I
gave the
think she
director the
was okay.
performance
I
that they
think she's
wanted.
an okay actor. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what everyone says, and I've never seen her in anything else. But everyone says
The
the
only
stuff
thing
that they
that
have seen her
scared
in
me
that she was pretty
they
good.
were
So that's
leaving
fine.
the Star Wars Celebration. And like she went out there and everybody's like, oh yeah, like the guy who played the Inquisitors, like, oh yeah, I watched Star Wars Rebels. I kind of knew about the character, kind of played some games. I hate the actors that come in and act like they're too cool for school.
yeah.
Like,
I never knew anything about it.
It's
Yeah.
my own take.
Yeah.
Fresh take.
That's scary because it can go one of two ways. You
Yeah.
can either create something new and original that adds to the tapestry of a universe that you're trying to be a part of,
Yeah.
or you could be Reva.
Yeah, and like we said, she's basically a boring version of Trilla from Fallen Order, which like Trilla from, and it's her story is almost the same.
Identically.
It's almost it's literally like I said, for people like us who have played the games and have read the book stuff, they borrowed so much to pad the story of this show. Like her story is almost Trilla's from from the get-go, it's almost Trilla's story.
I wish they would have just made it a movie.
Yeah,
like they could have
Yeah.
just kept it to two.
Yeah, someone else mentioned that in the chat. It would have been better just a 2-hour movie.
2-hour movie. You keep it focused on Vader. You keep it
Yep.
focused on Obi-Wan. You keep it focused on the Reva character. So obviously there's a reason for Obi-Wan to come back out, but cut all the other shit between it.
Yeah,
So
it was like you could like hint at her story and have her be something that like build some interest in the character and then be like, okay, see if people want a series with her and then do her backstory. If she had died, like let's say what was it? The third brother. The one.
Oh yeah, what happened to them? By the way, they just disappeared.
They just disappeared.
They went to lunch.
Yeah, they were gone. They were
hopped on a ship. They're like,
yep, like, oh well.
If he had been the guy who plays him, Sun Kang, is the guy that played Han in the Fast and the Furious movies.
That's why I look familiar.
If he, let's say he found out about Luke, and he goes, and then Riva, who's injured, like follows him, and she dies saving Luke, and then you could do her backstory about what happened to her as an Inquisitor going through. That would have been an interesting story arc. That would have been interesting. But her just like shrugging off, like, I'm the frickin' Terminator, man. I got stabbed in the guts with a lightsaber, even though it burned away everything that functions there.
You know what?
Yeah, it's not a sword. It's not a sword.
Uncle Owen still holds it down as a fellow uncle. He still did his damnedest. Him and Aunt Beru.
I want to bring up something about that, but real quick, I want to say, hail the Lord Nemesis. Who says, "Don't care, John Malin is a gay racist." Hail! Oh shit! But there are
happy birthday to John Malin.
Yeah, happy birthday, John Malin. Yeah. There are Crazy Mad said Obi-Wan took out Grievous and the Chosen One twice. He should melt Inquisitors. Yeah, there's a whole issue with that. Scotsu said, how did she even make the connection that Luke and Vader were Luke was Vader / Anakin's kid? Bale never mentioned that part. That was something that really bothered me, because I was like, how
just like fuck? This omnipotent like Jedi ethereal that can just connect the dots with fucking everything.
This is again where
no
I said
way.
Like, this show felt really rushed. It felt like, you crammed too much stuff into 6 episodes.
Exactly, Max.
You just had to go like, we just have to, there you go, we're going. And then the fact that she's instant, like, I know time in Star Wars is like one of the biggest problems. It's been a problem ever since Empire Strikes Back, where it's like, is Leia and Han on the Millennium Falcon for 5 months or something, because Luke is training on Dagobah for months or something like that.
Right.
I know that time is a weird problem in Star Wars, but there's no freaking way she's gonna be on Tatooine in 5 minutes after getting stabbed through the stomach with a freaking lightsaber
and not explain it at all.
And
like it didn't even do the decency of doing like a montage of her doing some kind of thing to repair herself.
Yeah, none of that.
Do something with the wound. She just shows up.
That's all
duct tape. Yeah.
The chase is still going on. That chase, which literally just started, is still going on with the shuttle that the shuttle that has the greatest shields in the universe. And she's already on Tatooine, and she kind of bully guys.
Apparently, they were all in the same neighborhood.
That's like
what it was.
And Obi-Wan had a faster ship than all of them.
Yeah, because
Vader's ass, and then gets there within like a second.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that stuff was just driving me insane. It's that's the kind of stuff where it's just like, all right, for some stuff you just got to kind of like look over it and just say just move on, I guess, because that's just. Yeah, none of that makes sense. And I knew it was going to happen too, because he senses Luke right after he gets done fighting Vader, and then he's boom, right back Tatooine while that shit's going on.
All that is like, okay, he kicks his ass. They have this moment where it's like, okay, we're going to walk away on terms. And then Obi-Wan senses Luke. Like, why wouldn't Anakin Vader pick up on that?
Kid.
Yeah, or just pick up on something like. If Reva's like connecting all the dots in these breadcrumbs that are like miles apart, and Anakin's their dad, and there's like an actual like familial connection with the Force.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he go? Why is he running back to Tatooine? I lived on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Like he's not sensing he's going somewhere.
Especially if it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Or the thing that there was too many. The one thing about Vader in the show, Vader specifically, was the inconsistencies with Vader, right?
Yeah,
there were some moments where he's literally walking through a town, picking up people, snapping their necks.
That was bad.
But he was dragging that lady while he was walking.
Yeah. And then that Inquisitor gives him shit, the head Inquisitor at the end, and he doesn't give him crap at all. Like Vader doesn't turn to him and point at him or like push him or like force hold him up in the air.
Especially if you know the backstory between the two of them, because they hate each other.
Yeah,
he and the Inquisitor, they like the first time they met, they tried to kill each other.
Oh shit! See, again, that's canon that I don't know about. So like that's.
Or you don't see any Imperial officers going like, "Oh shit, mommy and daddy are about to fight." Like, you just don't see them like,
let's like that one of the only scenes in the Last Jedi that I liked was when Kylo was having his friggin' conniption, and the two
Stormtroopers
stormtroopers are like, stop, and they're like, shit, no way, man. They turn around,
Yeah.
they walk away.
Yeah, I like that in the first one.
Like nobody on the bridge is like, oh god, everyone's about
This
to
could
die.
go bad real quick.
Yeah. And then again, the fact that Vader
Good
just
point,
keeps
Crazy Mad.
keeps giving people a pass. It's like, no, you don't get to fail Vader ever. If you
I'm
fail
gonna
him,
rip the shuttle in half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you with no lightsaber.
yes,
But I'm just gonna stab you.
I kept waiting for him to.
Spot.
Yeah, I kept waiting for him to like force crush somebody or really choke somebody out, and he never did. Like he could at least choke someone out at some point.
I thought
You know,
he
he kind of did it with Reva. He kind of did it with Reva a little bit, but like I was waiting for him to at least kill someone. Just kill somebody with just the choke for the force choke just once, and he never did it. I was pretty disappointed.
Yeah, here was the biggest problem I had with Reva. She knows his deepest, darkest secret.
That the rest of the universe doesn't know.
You're not gonna let that person live. I don't care.
Yeah,
if you
Crazy
think
Mad brought that up in the chat too.
Yeah,
like
I don't care if you think that they could be useful to you in some way. Right. I don't get that person has a piece of information that would be damning. You're not gonna let that person live.
Exactly, because nobody's supposed to know.
Yeah.
So why? I mean, that didn't make any. It's okay. So I heard that there was the show was actually supposed to end quite a bit different.
She was supposed to die.
Yeah, so I feel like there was reshoots involved or something where they changed things up, which is why I think there's a lot of inconsistency with the storytelling, especially when it gets to the last 2 episodes. I don't know if that was the original way that it was actually supposed to go down, because it doesn't make any sense. None of it does to have her character there where he knows from the get-go that she's a plant or that she's just trying to get to him. He would have taken her out in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he would just force choked her like he did on the ship. There would have been nothing. There would have been no reason for this cat and mouse kind of game that he played. Not even to get to Kenobi. He could have found Kenobi on his own. So a lot of that stuff that was just annoying. It didn't need to be there.
Yeah,
they could have taken that completely out of the show.
Rogue One did a good job establishing how the modern take would actually be, how powerful he is, and they didn't use much of that.
Yeah. Well, and like I like the fact that like when he's filled with rage, dude, he's a freaking tank.
Oh, that was cool.
Even though the effects, and that was one of the other things too, was the effects were really hit or miss. Either the CGI was good,
very true,
or
what are you talking about? Hayden Christensen was the greatest 40-year-old Padawan that I've ever seen.
Dude,
I was so upset.
That was
nostalgic. Why did they?
For me, that was nostalgic.
I liked it. I liked the scene. The scene was great, but why did they
both.
not de-age him? They could do it so easily. Make him look like his 18-year-old self, or how 20-some-odd-year-old when he actually filmed the movie. But like, that was very disappointing to me. I was like, come on, like with the technology
he did look older.
People at the people on the internet have already like gone in and done it themselves.
I saw that. Yeah, did a great job.
I'm like, man, like you can't. That's why I really think that there was a lot of rewrites on this, and then a lot of it was rushed.
Yeah, because ILM is freaking phenomenal. Those guys at Industrial Light and Magic are freaking great.
Yeah,
there's no excuse why it should have looked like that.
CB Smallwood said, "Don't watch the full season of bad shows from Disney. In fact, don't watch their shows at all. I'm about to give up entirely on them. They are wrecking the MCU."
I wasn't trying to watch Kenobi, but JMS
I got it for free.
Text me, and when I got to work, I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll binge on this."
I got Disney Plus for free, so I'm like,
I was just gonna say, like, I still check the shows out. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't expect them to be great.
It's just a family member in the house, and if you have a lady, chances are you're gonna have Disney Plus, especially if you have girls in your house.
Look, I have 3 daughters. Okay,
you got Disney Plus.
Oh, dude, yeah, I got a 3-year-old. I got a 3.5-year-old and a wife that loves Disney. So it is what it is.
Because I haven't watched Moon Knight. I haven't watched.
I didn't either.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
I've watched several episodes and I stopped.
And this is a good point. Here's one of the point. If they know that kidnapping Leia brings Kenobi out, just keep kidnapping her, man.
Just keep kidnapping her. Yeah, exactly.
Like, here, I thought it was going to be like a different kind of MacGuffin.
Hail some person.
It was going to be like another Jedi that maybe knew Obi-Wan or had a connection, or maybe it was another Jedi like a Reva MacGuffin. Like a Reva MacGuffin that knew Obi-Wan and knew Anakin.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like there were so many better things that they could have probably.
And that would have
done to
drawn
tell
them
the
both
story.
naturally out. Like this Jedi's like open in public. He's helping people, and he's a Jedi that was a contemporary maybe of them. Like they could have used, actually, funny enough, the one bit that I did like was all the Jedi's kind of like in hiding, like they had all their etchings.
Yep.
The fact that they recognized Quinlan Voss. Quinlan Voss is a badass Jedi.
Yeah, I love
like
Quinlan Voss.
If you read the comic books and you read Clone Wars, he's a dope Jedi.
Here's the thing too, and I want to get to this comment because it's fucking hilarious.
It is.
There were so many things they kind of presented in the show that never went anywhere. Like when he's down in the base of when he's rescuing Leia for the first time, and he goes down there and there's all the Jedi in Amber, yeah, whatever that shit is, just suspended there. They never touch on it. They never go back to it. They never kind of explain it. It was just like that was not even needed if you weren't going to go anywhere with it.
Vader's just bagging and boarding motherfuckers. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, that's
like, why the hell? And like, it wasn't Reva at the end of this show in that Amber under.
See, now that would have been a good ending. He could have kept her alive and put her in. Like that would have actually made sense. She could have been frozen there. Hicks villain just made me laugh. Made me laugh out loud.
Me too.
And LOL. He said Vader fell for that old fake starship trick, dummy.
That's the thing.
He was like, "Oh!" I was like, "Yes, he's crushed it."
You.
And then all of a sudden, oop!
And there's
like,
a debate as to
you
whether
got
or
me.
not, there's a debate. There's a debate as to whether or not there was actually a second ship in the hangar.
The hangar.
And because through the whole thing,
so they pulled a Die Hard on you.
Yeah,
that there wasn't enough space. And then they had
only
another
fresh
ship.
wounds.
Yep.
But see, that's why
Matt.
After they did that, then they established that last scene. I believe it was the last scene when Anakin and Obi-Wan were fighting after Anakin took his lightsaber away, and then he said, "You dive so much into victory."
Yeah.
And then he showed him how he took his lightsaber away, and he's like, there's other ways of winning. And then that's when he did the whole switch.
Yeah. The scene where Reva finally makes her move, and he just basically toys with her. That was cool. one of the best scenes in the entire show.
And
like,
so that's what you get. Okay, there's a handful of scenes of this entire series that are the payoff scenes that actually made me enjoy the series. The rest of the stuff you could throw out, but that fight with Vader and Reva was great. It was boss, man. I was just like, fuck yeah, like that is Vader.
Although
here's the thing,
the rolling around stuff, I was like, what are you doing? She doing the Captain Kirk roll.
Yeah.
Like, coming from the like she's doing the whole like whirly saber shit with the thing. It was just like, like yank.
Well, I love
from the original.
I like that he did grab it and he split it in two. He's like, the whole scene was done great. The whole scene was done great. And coming from the original trilogy, where you didn't get to see Vader be like that. Like Vader was cool in the original trilogy, but he had limitations in the way he moved because of the suit and like all this kind of stuff for acting. You finally got to see a little bit of that in Rogue One at the last 5 minutes of that movie, which was just awesome. Like that made the entire movie for me. It did.
And this was the next best thing that we could get to actually see Vader be badass. And that's all I really want. So when people wonder why I even check out this series, it was because I want to see Vader. Vader is one of my favorite characters of all time. I want to see him be badass. I want to see the actual Vader series where he's hunting down and killing Jedi. That's what I would like to see. Have him have epic fight after epic fight
comic.
Against other.
Just
that's
do
what
the
I want.
freaking comic, man.
Read the Marvel comic.
One other thing. When Vader grabbed whatever those chemicals was and he created that fire when he dragged Obi-Wan, and then he was able to put out the fire, right? But when she shot it and he ignited the fire, he just stood there. I'm like,
he's just like, oh yeah.
He had his Frankenstein moment from like Revenge of the
I'm like, just put the fire out like you did earlier on, Vader. What are you waiting for?
Thank you, some person.
Oh my god!
Yeah, like there's
inconsistencies.
Thank you. Such inconsistent writing when it came to all their characters. Obi-Wan was inconsistent. Vader was very inconsistent. Reva was inconsistent. I mean, like they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do with her.
Even the Jedi grifter. Like I'm a swindler. I'm taking people's money, but this Jedi believed in me, so I'm gonna be good.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
It's Kumail Nanjiani. You can't have him be an actual bad guy.
So horrible. Like, one, I don't like that actor. I hate that actor. I think he's a horrible actor.
I've seen
So the
one
fact that
thing that
He's
he
the
was
Michael
good in.
Cera of like Geekverse.
Kind of,
Plays
yeah.
The exact
Oh.
same thing.
Dude, he was
Horrible.
good in one thing. There was a TV show on TBS. It had the guy, what was his name? The guy that played Zach in Saved by the Bell.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're
Oh,
talking
I know
about.
what you're
him.
talking about.
Yeah, it was him and this other dude. They were lawyers. He was their like their like neurotic shut-in friend who was like a germaphobe and everything. That's the only thing I've seen him in that I thought he was good.
Yeah, just every line he said in this show was just like,
It was said with the exact same
Please.
cadence.
yeah, please stop.
That's the other thing.
Stop it
These
now.
people are on that shuttle. They're getting chased by a freaking
They're about
Star
to die.
Destroyer. They're getting bombarded by a Star Destroyer, and everyone in there is just like as chill as Hindu cows, man. They're like, oh,
Like,
this sucks.
you know, Leia's droid must have been
Oh.
handing out some edibles with some high THC content. You're all gonna die. Here.
Well, listen, they
Have
put him
some
in the
gummies.
series. They put him in the series
Everybody.
for some comic relief, but the comedy didn't hit.
No, I didn't.
Like it was like if this was a comedy club, there would be silence in the crowd because everything they tried to put in there was not organically funny. The timing was bad. The dialogue was cheesy. The acting was horrible. It's like that didn't need to be in there. I don't know why he was in there. It was a waste of time. And another one of the number of secondary characters they had in the show that were wastes of time that we didn't need to focus on were immense.
Yeah.
Immense the amount of characters they shoved into this show that we didn't need at all.
Well,
Matt
what's
LaRock.
his name? What's his name? The Tala, the officer.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The
You
chick
knew
from
she
Game of
was.
Thrones?
You knew she was gonna die, man.
Yeah, I mean that was again very predictable, right? And again, another strong female that they wanted, and she was the one that did the heroic sacrifice.
Yeah,
you know,
but
like
here's
that-
the thing: when she's out there, like Obi-Wan's like, dude, just force pull her through the freaking door.
Thank you. Yeah, use some of your
10
fucking
feet from
Jedi,
you, man.
Push the thermal detonator, pull her in.
Yeah, and not only that, but okay, stormtroopers are notoriously bad shots.
Horrible shots. Yeah.
In this show, they are
They're pretty
just
good.
flat out incompetent. They may as well have those guns turned around backwards and shooting themselves. Like they've got them in this tiny hallway, and they're missing everybody. You could just set a firing pattern across the thing, and you would hit half the people in this freaking hallway. I'm just like, literally, they're just, and then the slap. She takes out a stormtrooper by slapping his helmet.
Yeah, that's so
It's
bad.
like, I'm just like,
God.
look, and then this is why I think like the lady who directed it, I think it was a good idea to have one person direct the entire
Yeah,
series. I think we
'cause we
talked about
didn't
that.
have
Yeah, that was
that-
interesting. Like that was kind of cool.
Mandalorian problem.
The problem is,
Yeah.
I don't think she's very good at directing action.
Oh no.
And,
No,
and the shaky cam stuff, like as cool as as that final lightsaber battle was, that shaky cam stuff drove me crazy.
Yeah, the fight scenes were cool. They could have been better, but they're better than what I thought they were going to be. So I enjoyed them. Matt LaRock brought up. He said one of my favorite scenes was the cracked helmet where you hear Anakin's and Vader's voice going back and forth. Yeah, that was my favorite scene of the entire series.
Yeah,
the
and
fight
even though
scene,
that scene-
and then they're back and
And watch
forth right
Rebels.
there.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, in Rebels.
I
Even
actually
though-
loved it. I
Even
loved
though
that
they
scene.
took it from Rebels, I know that even though I know they took it from Rebels, I still liked it because this was probably the one scene that she shot that I was like, you did this perfectly.
Yeah,
Where
that
it
was
shifts
well
from
done.
where like when he's talking as Anakin, it's you see the blue from from Obi's lightsaber, and then when he shifts back to Vader, he brings his own lightsaber and it turns red. That was a good shift. I
The
like
dialogue was good.
Yeah.
And, okay, so here's I have got on the acting of the show quite a bit, but I actually thought that was really good acting.
That was the best scene in the
Ewan
entire
did
show.
a great job of just showing the emotion there because that does tie directly into everything. You know, maybe some people didn't enjoy the prequel trilogy, but I actually did. I actually enjoyed those.
Yeah,
I like
they
those
were
two
good
those two actors
Yeah.
working with each other for so long. So to have them in a scene together again and show that genuine emotion, tap back into those characters. Where the last time you saw Anakin was where he left him a quadruped burning in the lava, and so it was good to tie that together. And I thought they did it very well. I thought both of them nailed it. The end of that scene where Anakin is yelling just screaming at Kenobi.
hate
I was
you.
just like, yeah, like that was powerful. Like that was good. Like I was satisfied with that. Yeah, that was well done. Kudos to them. I'll give that an A in my book. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
And Hicks Villain's got another point. The droid, the maintenance droid, who was about to brain the shit out of those guys with that wrench. I like that droid because he wasn't talking.
It was like a hammer. Wasn't it
That-
a hammer?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Hammer, man.
It was
He
like-
was
it was
like,
like a
I'm
hammer.
about
Yeah,
to bust
I
your
just
head.
saw it. I was waiting
that was-
for it too. I was like, damn, he was about to clean house.
Yeah, I wish they played up on that a little bit more. But and again, the death of the droid, the death of that chick,
10 feet
didn't
away.
have any meaning because they like try to build these characters up like it would be something important, but when they died, they just died because one, we know where the outcome of the series was going. There was no real high stakes.
Hold
You know
on.
what's going to happen. We knew that.
No, I didn't.
So when stuff like this happened, it was just like, again, it was poorly written to the point where, like, when you're doing a prequel like this, we know that Luke's not going to get hurt. We know Leia's not going to get hurt. So none of the scenes that were
was
made
two
for
separate men.
intensity.
You had Ewan McGregor in this show, and then 10 years later, he turns into Alec Guinness. I don't understand what you're talking about, Joe. The transition of him still looking good and healthy versus old ass Alec Guinness.
Yeah, something happened quite a bit in that
That's
next
a
10
hard
years.
10 years of
I
living.
think this training he's going to do with Qui-Gon is going
It
to
took a lot out of him.
I think it's going to take a lot out of him because
I expected them to age him a little bit more than they did because I mean he didn't look much older than what he actually is probably in real life. I thought they were going to make him look a little bit older, maybe a little bit more gray hair or something.
I wanted a Spider-Man No Way Home scene, like maybe he does some shit and beats up some stormtroopers and goes, "Oh, my back!" Like
Also, another thing that I thought was hilarious, another meme that people were touching on was the laser game,
the laser grid,
and then you had like that little
Laser.
space, and he's like, because he can't get through. Because they showed that one stormtrooper when he fell down.
Literally
how
gets
it
turned
cuts
into
to a
Julian fries.
Yeah,
And then, like,
I love is like Disney's like, we can't show. Oh, we have to put a warning before this show that this might be scary kids. But guy falling and getting cut in half. Yeah, it's fine.
yeah. Some of that. Yeah.
Or Obi-Wan using drug bombs.
Yeah.
On spoilers. That was fine too.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Scotchley said
nothing.
It was a meth lab.
Scotchley said she literally walks up to Obi-Wan and tells him her life story, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is where she dies. Cool, let's get it over with." Exactly. Yeah, like that was very predictable.
Yeah. If Reva if they had gone with the original idea, I think, and Reva had died, like saving, like maybe saving Luke or something like that. If she had died, then we go back and we see how she becomes the Inquisitor. Because the thing with she has done some heinous shit.
Oh, she has. Yeah,
she has
like,
done some really like this is like it's like Kylo Ren, where it was like, oh, we want him to live. It's like, no, if he lived, he would be put on trial and he would die. Because
right.
When you have a character that we have a villain that's done things to a certain point, there's no redeeming them. They have to pay the price. They have to
that
die.
lady who lost her hand in Tatooine, like, oh, I forgive you.
Exactly. Yeah,
she's gonna shoot her with her left hand.
What about the dude that she kills when they save Leia and she throws that fucking detonator at that snow fighter, whatever it is, and just the throwaway character
or the
throwaway character that we're supposed to have a moment with because her partner is like, no, and she kills him just like.
And
boom,
the
like
thing is, if you know anything about Inquisitors, you know that they do terrible things to them, and then they make them do terrible things. So
really?
She's not redeemable. At the end of this show, we're supposed to be like, oh, she's okay. And I'm fine with her like wanting to change and everything, but this is like you owe a debt you cannot repay. There's no possible way for you to do this. You could save 1 million people and you still will not make up for the terrible things you've done.
The only reason they're alive is to hunt Jedi, and they pretty much tell them, once the Jedi are gone, we're gonna kill you.
Yes.
Yeah, Wade, the guy with 2 scenes total. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, who was that? Just random. Randall just dies, and it's supposed to be
like Dak in Empire Strikes Back. He's like, yeah, let's go fight the Empire.
Or poor Biggs, who didn't even get his scene. They cut his scene.
What was that Family Guy episode where they did that?
Get ready to suck some Dak.
Get ready to suck some Dak.
Flies up to the Star Destroyer.
And that's the other thing too. Luke, like
favorite.
Leia is made out to be this like the greatest
Badass
9-year-old in the
bitch.
universe, and Luke is a dumb little friggin'
He's on top of it.
This is pod racing.
He's sitting on top of Uncle Owen's hut, like farting and laughing at himself. And Uncle Owen's like, "You want to meet him? He's dumb."
Yeah, we
dumb
dropped
like his dad.
we dropped him on his head while I was working on an evaporator. I don't know, he ain't been the same since.
You know, it's not easy living in Tatooine. All right, and
Oh,
especially with this
God.
kid
Son
and all
baked
the
his
weird
brain
shit
out
he
of it.
does.
Yeah,
Hicksville said no
they
one thought Reva
introduced
was
him,
going to
and
kill
they were-
Luke
because when they introduced him and they were like, "Oh, where is he?" And they're Luke, where are you?
And
on
he's
the
right
other
behind them.
side,
He's
pretending.
literally 20
I
feet
was
away.
almost gonna play that. Like, if you watch the show, like knowing that Uncle Owen wants Luke to die, and is doing like the bare minimum to keep him alive.
Yeah,
Like it's almost a comedy with it's a dark comedy with Uncle Owen. Like he fucking hates that kid.
Yeah,
So he's
Harry-
like trying to
they
do
Harry Potter him
everything in
and
his
make
way
him
to
live-
kill Luke.
Yeah, they Harry Potter him and they make him live in like a little hut in the middle of freaking.
Hey, Luke, why don't you go offer these sand people this and you say this in like sand person language? Like he's trying to get him killed like left and right. Like,
yeah,
because
it's
of
like,
dark
and then it
comedy.
translates to whether you have small dicks.
Yeah.
Crazy Mad said the first half of the series, Reva is evil. The second half, oh, I'm only doing this to kill Vader. Like,
Right.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
Somebody
the-
tried to make a comparison to her and the Punisher. I was like, dude, the Punisher doesn't hurt innocent people.
Yeah, I was just gonna say no.
We're
Who
talking
made
about
that
the old
comparison?
Punisher, right? We're not talking
Some
about the new...
dude on Twitter was like, "Oh, she's like the Punisher." And I was like,
No,
"No, she's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
You obviously it's like, oh, you sweet summer child. You obviously know nothing."
Pat.
Yeah,
Pat.
it's like, yeah,
Go
Yeah,
watch,
they
go
made-
read your
they-
new Punisher with his ninja swords and no guns, and he's a part of the fucking hand.
yeah.
You know what I didn't get, or what I didn't like about that whole scene with Owen and Beru? He goes back and basically tells her that Reva's coming.
Yeah,
And he wants
yeah,
this Jedi, this Inquisitor, this
Yeah.
powerful being that she's coming to kill Luke, and she wants to sit there and make a stand.
this is our home. All we need is the two of us. I'd be like, bitch, are you kidding?
I would have been like,
Yeah.
bitch, you
She
stay
was-
here. I'm gonna take the
she was
boy and we're
one.
running to the hills.
She was
Like,
the one pulling out the shotgun and everything. It wasn't Owen.
But
was
here's
one.
the thing, though.
that's
In
what.
that-
Yeah, well,
that-
yeah. It's another female character taking the
Telling
heroic.
the male character they're dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
But
just
Aunt
it was
Beru
that was
could have
crazy.
shanked her. When minute she opened up that door, Beru could have had like a vibro knife and just like
You can't
Something,
do that.
yeah.
No,
that would be badass.
this is Reva's redemption, man. You can't.
Nah, screw that.
Well,
Aunt Beru gets the win.
Real
Yeah,
quick, let me
right.
say this because I saw
Yeah.
the freaking dinosaur movie. Did any of you watch that?
Jurassic,
Which-
the new Jurassic
the new
World.
Jurassic-
I haven't watched it
no,
yet. No.
I didn't like the last one.
Real quick side note. I thought towards the end where the two girls were like, okay, we're gonna go down there and fight the dinosaurs while the two fucking dudes are upstairs in the fucking computer room. I'm like, really? That's not gonna happen.
Gender reverse.
If there's
roles.
a noise heard in this house, who do you think is going downstairs to check that shit? My wife is kicking me. Hey,
yeah, exactly. What was that?
like,
What was that?
okay.
Can you go look
The
for it?
girls and I are going to be in this room. You go down there, and it's okay if we hear you thud.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, all right, lock the door behind me. I guess if I return, I return. Amberu went through some Smallville sex call. She's tougher than Reva. Oh shit.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
she's
I
part
think
of
the
that
actress
whole
is one of
thing.
those people that got.
Oh,
into
was
that.
seriously
The whole
that was
Allison Mack shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
really? No
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Dude, there were
that
so many.
makes a little
There were
more
so many
sense.
people that people didn't realize. Zach Braff was. The alien that
Was
was
the
driving the
mole.
truck.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was Zach
Well,
Braff.
Ice Cube's son was in there.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy, the
Zach
pilot of the
Braff?
shuttle that was indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah. That's yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
And
help
apparently,
you. I'm not
apparently, he's going to be some
Okay,
great leader of the resistance as well. Like the way he was being set up. I don't.
He'll probably
I don't know
show up
what
in
that is.
Reva. In the
Yeah,
new
maybe.
series.
I guess that
or
would
the
make sense.
Andor
Getting her own
series,
series?
You
Yeah.
know, they still got.
That's what I hear. I
timeline.
can't. I don't know what it's going to be about. Like
They could do Andor, and it would be a continuation of the timeline with Obi-Wan. That's kind of why they're dropping Andor next.
Yeah.
And see, Andor makes. I mean, Andor could be interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing some more Obi-Wan somewhere. Just because I have the connection with the old or the prequel trilogy. So I thought that was cool, even though you got a lot of canon breaking stuff. But the Reva series just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, what are we gonna do with this character? Her her quest for revenge is done.
I'm a mediocre
There's-
Jedi.
That's it.
I'll
Yeah,
say
she's gonna be like
Retire.
I'll
she's
say
gonna
since I'm the
go ahead.
minority here, it's for diversity, guys. It's fucking diversity.
Oh, yeah,
we know.
absolutely. But even if you're gonna try to put that character together with a compelling story, what's she gonna do now?
Yeah,
Like,
she's
she retired.
She's gonna be Kwai Chang Kane, man. She's gonna wander. Gonna
Yeah,
wander.
well, there you go. Yeah,
Jedi
She's gonna wander
Order
Earth and dispense
2.
justice.
Because the thing is, we already know what she is. What's her backstory? So what are they gonna expand on?
The
it a
most
bit more?
interesting,
Make it
the
more
most interesting
dramatic?
about her is her being an Inquisitor. So if they did a series where they showed her as an Inquisitor and then slowly becoming what we saw in this, and just doing all the heinous, nasty stuff because she's driven by revenge.
Yeah.
If they Arya Stark her,
Or
okay.
Kill Bill.
Yeah, or Kill Bill her. That would be interesting, but they're not going to do that.
So that she, because now we got this point in time where we have the Inquisitors, right? And then we have Rebels where there's the Inquisitors, and then we get to New Hope, and there's no discussion about what the hell an Inquisitor is. So that's
a good
probably what her show is. She is going to be a part of this contingent that's going to wipe them all out.
I guess. I mean, maybe. I guess.
Most
I
of
guess
well,
it could be. We'll see.
Most of them got wiped out by the end of friggin' Rebels. So
Yeah.
I mean, there was what, I think there was 2 of them left.
MJ says, totally off topic and random, but Rise of Skywalker is the worst movie title.
Well, yeah, dude, they rushed the hell out of that thing, man. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah, the entire movie was bad.
What do you mean? The whole Ben Solo doing this and going,
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Hey, guys. I'm a Skywalker.
Was it
What can I
the-
say, man? I'm
the
a
Knights of
magic
Ren?
space wizard.
The
You know
night-
I was going to do it. Come on now. All these bad guys, we all turn good. We're Skywalkers.
The thing is, I'm like one of the things that's coming out is that a lot. They're saying that a lot of people are attacking the lady that the actress that played Riva. I don't think that's true. I think they're attacking the show. Because here's the thing. It's not really her fault. She's just playing the character they gave her, and she's giving the performance that the director wants. So if you're gonna blame anybody, blame the director, blame the writers.
And not for anything, she didn't really. I didn't have that feeling of wokeness with her as far as her complaining or bitching or.
I think they're
like,
Kelly
what
Marie
it's like
treating
to
her.
be a black girl in
I feel you,
in the Inquisitor group or whatever, you know. So
Yeah, I think they're Kelly Marie training her where nothing, where no
They're
no
strawmanning her.
drama existed,
They're
and they
building
created it.
about her, and they're making it about her so they don't have to face the criticisms as the show as a whole. So they're deflecting and using her, literally putting her in front of all the ire of everybody. So if you have any actual constructive criticism about the show, then it's like, you're an ist, you're a foe because you're attacking her. I'm like, no, I'm talking about the show. No, you're attacking her because she's in the show. It's a straw man bullshit.
Yeah,
but you notice how our this entire time that we've been having this discussion, we didn't mention anything
about
her race. It was practically just the character.
Exactly.
And again, she could have been a really interesting character if they did the things that we said instead. But they went a soft path with her, and they made her, like I said, they made her a less interesting version of Trilla, and it could have been something cool. And the series could be something cool if they went backwards in one of the rare times I would say go backward in the past and show her becoming an Inquisitor and everything. That'd be a dope show. They're not going to do that.
No, because Disney's not going to show, okay, Padawan, if you want to be a part of the Empire, you're going to have to kill other Padawans in this room. Here's a lightsaber. Only one of you are going to walk out.
Oh, dude, she's in there with a bunch of other like Padawans and stuff, and they just drop one lightsaber in the middle of the room. One of you gets to live.
That'd be a brutal scene.
That'd be brutal. But that's the kind of stuff that the Inquisitorius did.
Yeah.
Like they
Palpatine sat there with his popcorn going, hey, watch this shit.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this for thousands of years. Why should I die?
Put cream on my butt face.
But
Crazy Mad said the racist stuff is a BS plant. I haven't seen anybody say anything about it. Yeah, I haven't either. It's
But
just
they
the
always
normal
do
stuff
it
that
when
they
they
can
know
do.
that they're about to hit criticism, because it hit Twitter before the first episode dropped.
Yep.
It was already in the zeitgeist of social media where they were planting it, saying, so if you have any criticism about Obi-Wan and you're a nerd, then it's really about the chick playing Reva. It's not about the show at all, which is total bullshit.
Right.
I also agree with Scottsley here. Said with better direction, I think the actress could have been really good, but she wasn't written well.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. Like a lot of the characters were not written well in the show.
And
you can tell when it's like a committee of cooks, because like you could tell that there was like one linear storyline.
Yeah.
And then you get the Disney committee and the Kathleen Kennedy camp that comes in and goes, we need to add this character.
It's
to add this character.
Yeah.
Hey, did any of you guys like the alligator villain that they were shooting at? You didn't see that?
The alligator
alligator
villain.
alien.
Oh, at the second episode on the rooftop.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool.
that whole parkour section when she was.
Yeah, the parkour.
She was like a jaguar or.
All I could think about was that episode of The Office where Dwight and whoever they're going through everything and they're just like, parkour.
I just would have been funny. She was jumping midway, and Obi-Wan goes, "Nope," and like force pushes her into a wall or some shit.
Yeah. So, all right, we dumped on this show enough, man. Let's talk about what we liked.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, let's get to the
Vader
good stuff. Vader.
Yeah.
Vader.
All right.
Vader when he wasn't being an idiot.
This is what I absolutely loved about the show. All the scenes with Vader, even the bad dialogue, even the inconsistency. I just love seeing that character. I love seeing that suit. I love seeing him walk around. I love hearing James Earl Jones' voice. By the way,
it wasn't James Earl Jones, right?
Yeah, it was.
No, it was. But they did a fantastic job with his voice because in Rogue One, he sounded old. He sounded old, like he's an old man. His voice sounded old. Whatever they did with this show, if whatever modification they did to his voice, they made him sound a little bit more like he should have sounded, and I thought it was perfect. Like that was great. I loved everything about it. The fight scenes, besides the first fight scene with Kenobi, let's just throw that out. But the fight scene with Reva and the fight scene with Kenobi at the end was good enough for me. Like I got hyped with those scenes. Like I took all the stuff that we just dogged on and all the things I hated about the show went right out the window, and I got to sit for those like couple minutes and just enjoy what I've been wanting to see. And so that was the absolute good for me. There was some good acting in that as well. It was good. It was just nostalgically good to see some of those guys back, just doing their thing again. So that was my good.
Those member berries, man. Those member
for me,
berries
the good was pretty much what you said, Joe. Was just pretty much the nostalgia, you know.
And not only that, but
even seeing them fight each other from back in the day when they're both thinking about it, and they're cutting back to each one of them when they're thinking about it. I thought that was cool.
The other thing too is like, and this is where I'll give the director credit. Even the scenes where Vader's just walking down the hall, there's power in that. Like he's not just walking; he's striding down that hall. Like, when he's going to like confront her about failure, about failing at
intimidating
at Fortress and he's like, he's like somebody's about to get messed up, and he's like, "I told you what was going to happen."
Yep.
And
his presence was,
and then even as bad as the CGI was on that ship when he caught it, man, the fact that he just like they showed how powerful Anakin really was and why Palpatine wanted him as his apprentice. Like, this guy is a freaking tank, and he just grabs that thing. And that was like Force Awakens moment right there, man.
Yeah,
right.
Was it?
It was a destroyer, right?
Force Unleashed when he yanked
Force Unleashed, when he pulls it, like he's like grabs it and he just slams it in the ground, and then he just starts tearing it apart. Like that was awesome. And then not just the fact that the lightsaber fight between him and Reva was cool as hell, but the fact that he's just toying with her. Yeah, he's like telling her, "You're nothing."
You can almost see the smile inside the helmet, like he's just like dumb.
He was laughing at her, and then like not only does he take the lightsaber away from her, but the whole spinning thing,
he does it twice.
He slows it down. He's like stops it, and then he takes it from her.
Right.
And then he
what I like about that is she didn't land a single blow on him. And I was so worried that she was going to have that one moment in the scene where she was going to do a little bit to kind of get him off his guard and he was going to recover. And they didn't have that at all. So I thought that was actually well done, because I would have been very pissed if that happened. But that just showed you how awesome, like powerful that character is.
When he's on point and he's transfixed on a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Vader is like focused, when he's truly focused, he's unstoppable. And that's the way he should be. He's supposed to be terrifying. And that's why I said, like, that's why when they showed her at the beginning and I was like, she wasn't scary at all. And she looks like a normal human, where all the other Inquisitors have something weird about them and everything. Is like, she's not going to be a bad guy for long. That and the only problem I had with the final lightsaber battle was they kept cutting away from it.
Yeah, the cut scenes and stuff. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. I mean, but you kind of knew they were gonna do that. Just
I mean, but it's like look, I get it. This is the Reva show with some Obi-Wan Kenobi flavoring on it. Just let me just a little sprig of air, man. It's like Emma guys. Bam, there you go.
It's like they gave you the main event, but then they wanted to sprinkle in like the undercard. In between it, and
the
just like
pacing in which they dropped it was just weird because they already said it was 6 episodes and they gave you a third of it right out the gate.
Yeah, right.
Like if you had 6, just let it play out as 6 episodes, or if you're gonna do it in blocks of 3, or blocks of 2, then just do it in blocks of 2.
Yeah, because 5 and 6 back to back, watching those as a solid, back to back would have been cool. That would have been cool.
Or just drop the whole thing and let everybody binge it at once.
What I loved about that end scene, regardless of I've heard some people talk about the amped up power that Anakin and Obi-Wan show in that scene, but I talk about this in comic books when it comes to art, the cool factor.
Mm-hmm.
I can put away some canon stuff or some things that don't quite make sense if you just give me some entertainment that is cool as shit. And that fight scene when they're throwing rocks around at everybody or each other, and they're just caving things in and just showing like this force.
It was Obi.
I loved that.
The real only one person throwing rocks. It was Obi. He was throwing.
Obi was the only one.
No.
Yeah.
Vader.
I thought
Vader
Vader buried him. Yeah.
Yeah, he used the giant rock.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
Well, not only
Obi-Wan
that, but
had
he
like the basketball size rocks.
He also flipped when it took his feet out.
Yeah, but when
here's the thing, Obi-Wan should not have done that.
Offensive. He wasn't never offensive.
The Force, Yoda. The Force is a Jedi only uses the Force for knowledge and defense, never to attack.
You're right.
That's a good point.
And
so
Vader
that's a good point. That's the
but the other thing too is like here's the thing. As cool as it was seeing him like do the friggin' Ray and throw all the friggin' boulders and stuff, the fact that they're hitting Vader and they're not doing shit is weird. Like it should have messed his stuff up.
I didn't know if he was like using the Force to kind of deflect as they was hitting them and breaking. Like that's what I was
taking like one to the helmet or one to the respirator that at least
like that should have started like when it, like one of the rocks should have hit the respirator and that should have started it sparking and then Elba goes, oh okay, I found a weakness, bam bam bam,
Yeah.
But it was just
Hail, scary Batman Jenkins. Good to see you. Says canon. What's canon? Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars. It's fan fiction.
Well, it is now, kids.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is now.
And here, and a lot of people are upset with saying, like, considering who Obi-Wan is, and considering who Vader is, and him knowing that, like, Vader living is going to create untold suffering for people. Why wouldn't he have finished him off?
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me either. It's the way they ended that scene. I thought would be a little bit different. Although I liked the acting and the emotion in it, it didn't make sense that he just walked off because, like, Vader's still Vader. You might have squashed whatever. Well, also, it doesn't make sense because in Obi-Wan's mind, isn't Vader still going to come after him? How did that settle anything?
Right, like why just go kidnap Leia again?
Yeah, it's like or come find me again wherever I go. It's just like that. It didn't make any sense that he just walks away because he decides now that Anakin is finally gone. Like,
well, he did. Like he did kidnap Leia again.
Well, yeah,
yeah.
But the way that they're saying that is that when he has this discussion with the Emperor, his Emperor is basically telling him, "You're letting this have power over you."
Yeah, which made sense. Like I'll give him that. Like that made sense for that, but for Obi-Wan,
the more you know.
Obi-Wan didn't know that.
Yeah,
he had no idea, and he just lets him go. He just lets him go because you beat him again, so that's good now. Like that's done.
Devil's advocate was even in Revenge of the Sith when they're like, "Okay, who you got?" Because Yoda's like, "I'm gonna go fight the Emperor," and he's like, "I can fight Anakin, but I can't kill him, man." Like he flat out tells Yoda that. Like I can fight him, but I can't kill him.
Yeah,
that's true.
He's his brother. He loves him.
Yeah, he's like, I can take him down.
That's true. I mean, I guess I could see that. I guess I could see that.
But the thing is though that and that end scene, as powerful as that end scene is, he flat out tells me, he's like, Anakin Skywalker's dead.
Yeah.
So, and at that moment, and in that moment, we know Obi-Wan believes him because he says so later to Luke.
That was one of the things I thought was kind of cool. Like everyone talking about the canon breaking and stuff, but they did do some stuff in this last episode that tied it into A New Hope. That being one of them. So now when he goes and tells Luke 10 years from now that Vader killed Anakin Skywalker, that's why, because Anakin just sat there. Vader said, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I killed Anakin Skywalker." So I thought that was kind of cool that they retconned that a little bit to make it a little bit more sense than what they did in when you finally find that out in Return of the Jedi.
Talking to Leia at the end, because everybody was like, "Oh, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna do a Jedi mind wipe on her or some shit like that?" I was like, I dug the subtlety of him talking to Leia, recognizing that Leia was smart for a kid her age, and going, "Hey, we got to play this down a little bit." All right?
Yeah. Well, except that she doesn't care when he dies 10 years from now. When she's being rescued by Luke and all them. She's just
she's
but
like,
I mean, just because of the fact that you're like, how's Leia gonna play this off? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because everybody thought it was gonna be like a Jedi mind wipe.
That's kind of what I thought too, which I actually would have accepted that a little bit more.
Or just have her not know that he's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right, yeah.
You know,
that could have been.
Just never refer to him as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You know what? In A New Hope, that she didn't really
never sees him
so much about Obi-Wan dying.
No,
it was pretty much her
she was
consoling Luke, right?
Yeah. Because in New Hope, you get the sense that she never knew Obi-Wan, never met him before. She just knew about him.
Her
because
father
of her
knew
dad.
him, and her dad said, "If something happens to you, go to this person."
All this guy.
Yeah.
Which
Crazy Mad said, "I hated Anakin telling Obi it wasn't your fault. He should have had intense hatred."
He did.
I was just gonna say, I get what you're saying, Crazy Mad, but I did like how they did that, where it just showed that the dark side at this moment was completely Anakin was gone. Anakin was gone.
Well,
and I like that aspect. You know, it wasn't that he was letting Obi-Wan take credit for killing Anakin Skywalker. He was taking credit for destroying Anakin Skywalker because that's not who he was anymore. I actually kind of like that.
Well, and also the fact that it showed that there was that last sliver that Luke could feel was still in there, but it was buried under all this self-loathing and hatred because he realized what he did. He realized, Vader realizes he was the catalyst for all of it. He's the one who killed Amidala. He's, him turning to the dark side is what created the Empire. And if you know anything about, and if you like really into it, Vader hates the Emperor. He absolutely hates the Emperor. He wants to destroy him, but he knows he can't.
Right.
So he's basically doing what Reva did. He's staying close to him and he's serving him so that at some point he can destroy him and take over.
Or he's just so devout in his hatred and succumb to the dark side. Like even that scene where he's floating in the Bacta tank, he can use the dark side to heal and kind of augment his abilities, but it only gets him to a certain point because he finally gets to like a state where he's happy, and then he loses the dark side ability falls out.
Yeah,
so it's like a catch-22. He can heal himself with his hatred, but then he finally gets to his state of Zen, and then
it all falls apart.
Yeah,
because that actually happens in because he is, even though he is like slowly healing himself, because in Shadows of the Empire, there's that scene where he's thinking because he just found out about Luke and everything, and he's thinking about he's like, I have a son, and he and I are going to take out the Emperor. It's going to be me and him. He's like happy about that, and then in that moment of happiness is it falls, and then he realizes I gotta keep the hatred going. So I like that scene was alive. Really good. Yeah.
Crazy Matt said it would have made more sense if Luke got taken instead of Leia.
Can't be Luke because Luke is can't have ever met a Jedi. Can't know what they are.
That's what I was going to say.
And he's only ever met Ben once. He barely knew about him. So
yeah, Matt said some of the retcon worked, some didn't. I think it's funny that after intensely being hunted, that Kenobi ends up in a house on a hill.
Yeah,
his
cave. Yeah, he had his bachelor cave, and now he's going to his old man hut where he can transform into Alec Guinness.
Hicksville said, Disney's New Hope remake. General Kenobi, remember when you saved me from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Well, I'm in trouble again.
What are you, McFly? Chicken?
Yeah, Vader was taking credit for killing Anakin. I like that. I like that part of it.
I like that we got to see Alderaan. There you go.
Yeah,
we've
good
only
point.
seen it in bits and clips, and we actually got to see the planet. We got to see some of the actual Capitol buildings. I mean,
I actually don't think about that till right now. That's a good
I
point.
mean,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Eternal Princess's castle from the Never-Ending Story. I was waiting for Falcor to fly through that thing in 1 minute, but it was still pretty neat to see nonetheless. And seeing Jimmy Schmidt's back as Bale.
That was cool.
As Bale.
That was cool.
And
Here's the
seeing
thing. I thought it would have
that.
been, I thought it would have been like, here's the, instead of kidnapping Leia, kidnap Bale's wife.
Yeah, yeah, that would have made sense.
And
Because
that completely
they're a
takes
peaceful
care of
planet.
everything.
They're not going to go. He's not going to go after him. He can't kill anybody because it's a bad look in this galactic theater where there's moths and senates and shit like that. So he can't openly act out against the Empire if the Empire kidnapped his wife.
Yeah, right.
But then you get Ben to go do it.
Well, here's the thing, though. Do exactly. Yeah, exactly. He can't. Yeah. So that would have taken care of the whole problem right there. And you could still have Leia in the show. She's like the reason why. It's like her mom chasing her down in the woods is the reason why her mom gets captured.
Yeah, I didn't mind that Leia and Luke were in the show. I didn't like the way that they used Leia specifically, because again, it goes back to the fact that I don't like kids in these shows because I can't take them serious. I just can't. I can't take the fact that 9-year-old.
She's a 9-year-old hacker and she's the best at everything. And
exactly, like
and her robot opened up those docking bay doors just in time.
When she does that scene, yeah, where she's like, she's talking about like, I need a ladder, like, you know, like I'm gonna take care of this, like I'm the only one that can handle it. Like, I'm just like, you're 10 years old, all right, you're 10. Just let that sink in first.
Here's the other thing. All those cables in there.
Here's
Dude,
here's the other thing.
Tradecraft in Alderaan. That's what they do with the kids at age 10. They all put them through IT and technical support.
Yeah. Here's the other thing too, man. They're on the shuttle. They're in that bay. Only someone's walking in there. She's not the only freaking kid there.
Yeah,
there's like
she was the only kid that knew how to pigtail Cat 5 cable. Damn it!
I'm just like, this is. I was like, okay, like
she had her soldering gun. She's all ready to go.
Yep.
Well, somebody brought up a good point. I don't know who it was, but I heard somebody say about why would you have all of that important cables and stuff in there that needs to be fixed, where nobody can get to, no adult person could ever get to it to repair anything.
You know, all wanted to die.
Like it was written specifically so Leia could have her moment.
What do you mean? There were no midgets there?
Yeah,
Where's Warwick Davis, man? He's in every friggin' movie. But it's the same logic as to why the Empire doesn't put handrails on their freaking catwalks.
Yeah, exactly.
How much more will this handrail cost on the Death Star? This is the second one, by the way.
Okay, wait a minute.
Those guys blew it the first one up. I'm not spending more goddamn money for handrails.
Yeah. It's like, how much is it? How many of these friggin' catwalks got? 1 million of them. Yeah, just practice your balance.
The first one, I had guys pressing the laser that were within 10 feet of the laser. They all probably would have died from cancer. It's a good thing the Death Star blew up.
Oh my God.
Hail Survive Infinity. Good to see you. Says hail the chat, hail the panel, hail to you. Again, I didn't mind young Leia. I think she channeled Carrie pretty well. She had some sass, yeah, like, but they I don't know, like, I won't argue with people too much. I've heard a couple of people say that. I personally didn't see it myself. I mean, she did definitely have sass.
It was better than young Luke. Yeah. Young Luke, like, looked
had
like
no. Did he have a line?
Did
he have a line in the entire show?
I think he just said hi or something like that.
Okay, because I was trying to think about it. I was like, did he even?
Oh no, I'm not scared, Uncle Owen.
Oh, okay, he did. Yep, that's right. That was the only thing he said.
I'm not scared, Uncle Owen.
You know what's been great?
But I don't like Shand. It gets everything. Oh God, he's his son.
Reva's like chasing him in that canyon, and then all of a sudden, like gangster Jawas come out and just all plug her. Like, so she can't deflect all of it. That would have been great. You're like, what do you do?
Oh my God.
Scary Batman Jenkins said Qui-Gon must have been a huge pussy because apparently everyone in the Star Wars universe can take a lightsaber to the gut and live, except for the giant pussy Qui-Gon.
He's got to be listening as a Force Ghost being home like, really? What the hell?
He's got to be like, son of a.
You know what? Maybe he wanted to die because he knew it was coming down the pike, And he's like, I'm not going to be blamed for this.
Look, look.
I'm not going to be blamed. You
He's
trained the
probably
kid.
like, you know what, guys? I
You trained me.
fucked up.
I'm not going to be blamed for Darth Vader. It's all Obi-Wan's fault.
He
Galaxy
left all
with the shit, thanks to Obi-Wan. I'm out. Stab me,
He
Maul.
pretty
I've
much
lost
gave
the will
all
to
that
live.
baggage to Obi-Wan.
But you know what? The cool thing I like about the Star Wars lore in general, like I like the idea that the Anakin was the one that he did bring balance.
He did bring balance. It just wasn't the way they thought it was going to be.
Exactly. Like so, that works to me. So like Qui-Gon was right in a way. It was not the way they thought it was going
He
to
just
happen.
didn't have a lot of foresight. He didn't see how it was going to go.
And then Luke comes around. He brings balance to the Force. And then Rey comes around and does whatever Rey does.
I took their name. I
Rey
took their
Skywalker.
house.
I stole everything.
Yeah, I gave him the lightsabers back, but
I'm a squatter now.
Something because I made my own, which is like, dude, like, have you ever looked at when she makes her lightsaber, dude? She makes it out of like the middle part of her staff. It's like this big around.
Is it really?
It's freaking, dude. Her hand is barely holding it. It's huge. I'm like, how are you gonna fight with that?
Ooh.
I put it on a staff.
He said he's down for a Darkman
sequel. Yeah.
Sequential.
Liam Neeson said he's down to do another Darkman movie, which would be cool. I mean,
love
he's getting
Darkman.
older, so he better do it. He better do it soon. Darkman would be cool. Get Sam Raimi back. That's the only way I'd want it. Sam Raimi back.
Yep,
that'd be cool.
But
I
You think
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon could have prevented Vader?
Like,
Do you
prevented the sequences
because
of Anakin
you think
going to the
Qui-Gon
dark
would have
side.
been more of a father,
Dude,
probably better
compared to
teacher,
not
dude.
a brother.
There's
Yeah,
a friggin' there's a
see that.
video. There's a guy who's doing a series of videos called like "Why Yoda is the Worst," and it's literally like well, dude, if you
I gotta
really
see
think
this.
about it, like he's like one of the things like so this kid who gets rescued from slavery
Hail
is
Luke.
told that he's gonna be you're gonna save him, and then basically Yoda just starts dogging the crap out of him. And he's like, "Hey, he's too old, too dangerous." And he's like,
Yeah.
"You're literally." He's like, you go look at all of and then he's like, when Yoda feels Anakin's pain from all the way across the galaxy and does nothing.
So he knew about it. He knew about
he
everything
knew
that went
about
down.
all this,
He
and
knew
Yoda's
about
just like
him getting married. He knew about the kids. He knew about all this, and Yoda sat
He's
on
like,
his hands. He did shit.
everything's burning around him, and he's like, "Oh, fine, this will be."
Because you know why? He did what Qui-Gon did because he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go live in a hut and I'm not gonna have any part of
That's
this
the other
shit.
Like, I'm out.
This is all on Obi-Wan.
He puts it all on Obi-Wan.
Dump
He's like,
everything on Obi-Wan.
He doesn't go to Alderaan. I will go to watch the girl. No, he's like, you go watch the boy. She's good over there. I'm gonna go
hide out
into this friggin' swamp and hide.
I'm
That's
gonna
a good
train him
point.
with or without the consul's approval.
Oh
no
my
need
God.
for
Green
that.
little midget.
Train him, you will.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god.
Yeah, and they dunked on him like, you can be on the council. You're not gonna be a master.
Yeah, exactly. It's like every move is like Yoda's basically like fuck this kid.
Oh, and you're gonna have a Padawan, but then you're gonna fail that too.
Oh
my God.
That's
But
a
she'll
great
eventually
point.
be kind of a half-assed Jedi. She won't go through the former trials.
Everybody will love her because she's hot.
Yeah. 'Cause she's Rosario Dawson. Has got a butt that don't quit.
Rosario Dawson's hot. So. But no, dude, it was like it's funny as hell. But do you think Grogu was saved by Reva or Mace? I think Grogu was saved by plot armor.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm waiting for Mace Windu to still pop up.
I heard rumors. I hope not.
With his one eye and his
Yeah,
one hand.
Robo arm and shit.
Dude,
Look,
someone did a fan movie where he comes back and he's basically like dark side now. He's just murdering everybody.
Hicksville said Yoda ran off and abandoned his own kid.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, let's be honest. All right, devil's advocate to the kids. Devil's advocate. If I was Yoda and I banged the only other creature of my species,
Yaddle.
that looked like she was in space all
Yaddle looks
day,
like a foot.
like a cross-eyed Muppet, because I had to get it on because she was the only person of my size. And I found out she was pregnant. Yeah, I'd go to the swamp place.
A Jawa bang, I would rather.
And I would go put him in the baby capsule, put him
Yeah.
in some place, hide him for 50 years, because apparently, those kids can survive without food.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that story goes.
And that crazy ass kid decided not to be a Jedi, even though Luke was
stupid.
Trying to recruit him.
That made no sense to me. That as much as I like those episodes because they were just fun, I actually dug them. It didn't make sense. If and I heard people theorizing that is the act that might make Luke go in a different direction than his holding to so tightly to the dogma of the Force. Yeah, and start introducing more stuff as he goes. Instead of like the choice that he gave Grogu, that maybe you'll see him be a little bit different, because as far as I know, they're planning on using Luke in the next, or sparingly throughout the series. Yeah, he'll pop up here and there, so I feel like there might be more training. I don't know, but yeah.
Hey, Grogu, did you change your mind? Hey, I need a suit, buddy.
I'm not explaining how I got Yoda's lightsaber, but I have it.
He did use a form of lightsaber dueling that was outlawed by the Jedi.
Yeah, well, he knew it. He didn't use it,
which is cool because
Hail Mortal B.
That whole thing that showing other Jedi survived was the nice bit in Obi-Wan, and especially showing that Quinlan Vos survived.
Yeah,
because
Quinlan has that really
Jedi. Because
he has that.
Read the comics, you watch Clone Wars. He's a rad Jedi that kind of skirts the line between light and dark a little bit.
He's definitely a gray Jedi.
Yeah, and that's a whole concept. I would love them to explore gray Jedis, the whole concept of the living force, where you don't necessarily
I would like that too.
In dark. It's more situational. If I'm doing good to take this guy out, then I'm really doing something good in my own mind.
Yeah, well, that's what the Bendu tells Kanan.
Yeah, I would love for them to cover that. And I remember that being like a rumor when they were getting ready for, what was it? The Last Jedi, was that what I can't remember the name of the second one they did in the sequel.
Rise of Skywalker.
No,
The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi
that was the last one.
Yeah, because there was a rumor that they were going to dive into that Luke, the reason why Luke was on the island is because like he'd become a great Jedi and like all this kind of stuff, and there was all this. Remember from Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, there was 2 years there of just nothing but nonstop rumors, and there were so many like great possibilities of where they were going to go with the story. And then when we got the movie, it was a complete dud.
Yeah,
but some of them
rocked it in their head, and it was like,
because somebody brought up like the whole Gray Jedi and like the rumors of where they were going to go with his character and talk, get more into the Gray Jedi and like all this kind of stuff. So I would actually like to see them dive into that a little bit more.
Hey guys, did she end up getting the yellow lightsaber? Wasn't there something about that?
Yeah. Rey.
Yeah.
Her lightsaber blade's yellow.
Yeah.
Which means which is a great Jedi thing. It's a transition thing.
Hale Stoneman, he says, how does Reva teleport first chasing Leia into the tunnel, and then again from the planet she stabbed on the Tatooine? It's B-class tripe.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Sure.
If you watch Star Wars Rebels, they call it the Veil of the Force. That's what Reva used.
Yeah, there you go. Hail Aldous. Good to see you, brother.
Even though she's nowhere near powerful enough for it.
Yeah.
But
I think the ultimate MacGuffin. Like if Filoni takes it over and he gets a movie, he's going to use the Veil of the Force, which is addressed in Star Wars Rebels, as the ultimate reset button.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you can reset the entire timeline by using this thing that you can use the powers of the Force to save people, kill people. You can insert yourself at a certain point in time.
Yep. It's was it Darth Caedus? Jason Solo was the one who. That's what he used to like. He looked into the past and he saw that all the stuff that the Jedi Council did with Anakin, where they're like, you're not going to be a master and all that stuff. He actually went back in time and saw all of this stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a MacGuffin that they created that you got to be a very strong natural Force user to even tap into this ancient Force artifact.
Yeah.
Like they go real deep with the Force in Rebels, and there's like ethereal things and the living Force, and they address a lot of those concepts in it because it's Filoni not being told no, not to bring it up.
Yeah.
Keep it superficial. Keep it, wading pool. We don't want to go Olympic-sized diving pool with this shit in Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff would be pretty cool. And again, like I don't mind retconning of the original source material because George himself did it. So like it's because I've read comics for, most of my life. The retcons don't bother me because I'm just used to things being retconned. It's just, as a fan of stuff, you just kind of got to accept it sometimes,
As long as it doesn't completely break everything.
As long as it doesn't completely, and the stuff that I saw that was retconned in the show didn't completely break it for me. I know it did for some people, which is fine.
But
it didn't do it for me.
Man, those people would have overreacted to anything, because what we were talking about at the beginning is this artificial outrage where you just instantaneously knee-jerk reaction, cannot like anything from the mainstream. And you got to be able to take the good and the bad, and we got to be able to go, when they do something right, okay, you guys did it right. Applause. Like, I'm not running out into the street grabbing people, say, watch this shit. You got to watch it. It's great. Like, watch it if you want to. I enjoyed it. It didn't ruin it for me. It's Star Wars. And Star Wars is not Hamlet. It's not Shakespeare like what Sean says. Yeah. I don't watch it for that reason. I watch it to be entertained. And was I entertained for the 6 episodes? Yeah. Am I going to watch it anytime too soon?
No.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But it adds to my Star Wars experience, and it creates a conversation piece with other fans like the gentleman here this evening, where I can go, okay, if you even like this a little bit, then go watch Rebels.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch
Rebels is a good show.
You can watch Rebels with your entire family. You'll have a good time. If you like the lightsaber fights in this, then pick up Jedi Fallen Order, because it's the exact plot.
Dude, the one thing I went, the one time in the show I went, really, man, come on, you haven't fixed this damn thing already, is when when Obi-Wan gets into Fortress Inquisitorius the exact same way that Cal Kestis did.
Yeah, the water
through the
scene.
exact underwater.
Really?
The exact,
Really?
dude, it's and dude, even like the scene.
The same, like, stops another Inquisitor by doing that whole, I'm gonna breach the tube and have water.
The water thing, and use the force to push the water, dude. It's scene for scene, dude. And I'm like, they didn't. He's like, you didn't put some extra troopers down there at the very least. You didn't close that thing off, put a grate over it or something. It was like, come on, man.
If you joined like the stuff like you're talking about, Joe, like, hey, I like the fight scenes. I like this. There's plenty of stuff that already exists that you can go and enjoy and enhance your experience, and maybe you like that better than Obi-Wan, and then hey, you get to see what Dave Filoni is like unfiltered.
Yeah, I'm with Scott's Lee. The Rebels and Clone Wars are fun.
Scott?
A lot of fun. I have
Scott
to try.
Andrew? What? Scott?
No, he says with Scott's Lee right here.
Oh, so you're like, Scott. I'm like, okay, well, you are now no more. Okay, bye.
They're a lot of fun, especially the Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show. Again, just like Steve said, I'm not going to watch it again anytime soon. If I watch anything, it's going to be, I'm going to try to find a YouTube video. It just has the Darth Vader scenes all linked together, and I'll just watch that just to enjoy that. But it was fun. It was just fun to see some of the characters back. I'm a sucker for Darth Vader. So just like Rogue One, I went to see that movie because Darth Vader was in the movie. Otherwise, I might have waited for that to come out to streaming before
I didn't even know that scene was in there. I didn't know Vader was going to come at the end.
So what made that movie that much better?
I just remembered at the end when everybody got off their seats and were like,
"Oh, dude, I was yelling in the theater.
We were like, what?"
Yeah,
it was
that movie was
left and right squashing force.
I had a boner in the theater.
That movie was a 7 for me up to the point I was like, all right, this is a decent movie and it's not the best and everything. I like the fact that they took the war aspect in Star Wars and just like that friggin' scene at the end, man. Like I'm like when there's a dark hallway and I'm like, no freaking way, dude. And then you hear
a lightsaber just
and I'm like, oh shit's about to go down.
Yo, goosebumps.
That jacked it up to like a 9,
absolutely.
Goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now.
They got away. That was the thing that was dope, is that they threw all that shit at him and they barely got away. And you see Vader like just sitting there like shaking his hand at that ship, going, "I'm gonna get those sons of bitches."
Because it was cool how they were just go run, and he's killing them. And they're like, "Go pass it," and they're trying to get away from him. He's slowly getting to him. Yeah, it was just well done, well executed.
That's why I enjoyed the Luke scene in Mandalorian season 2 so much as well. Like that was another one of those goosebump moments, and that's the things that make all the bad stuff be okay for me.
Yo, fans cried. There are a lot of people that fucking cried.
Dude, I almost cried. I'm not gonna lie.
I had goosebumps.
I am not gonna lie. Because I didn't I had
Motherfuckers
stayed off of any
cried.
spoilers. I wasn't paying attention to anything. I did not expect it. I'm watching the show, and my little girl, who at the time, who I think she was still 2, she's sitting next to me here. My wife is sitting over here, and I'm watching it, and I'm the only one that's really into Star Wars. My wife has watched it, watched the movies before, but I see I see Luke's fighter come in, and I see him get out, and for like 30 seconds, I'm just like, I was like,
No way.
it's Luke. No. Like, and then I turned to my wife. I'm like, I think that's Luke. And she was like, what? I was just like, hold on a second. I'm like, it can't be. I was like, it can't be. No, like, it can't be.
It was
and then like the green lightsaber lights. I was like, it is Luke. And my little daughter's just sitting there, and I'm just like, bouncing up and down the entire time. And then finally, when
you don't even know.
Face, I was just like,
there?
oh my God,
I was there. I watched him.
What was awesome,
It's
the only thing that would have made that moment better is that as soon as he lights that green lightsaber, as if his music came up, the Skywalker.
Yes.
theme,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yep.
Did it come up? Did it come up at all?
No.
There was
No.
the music they played was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
but you're
but
right.
it was-
Like
They should have ended it with it.
It
But
was
what was cool was the
someone
behind
did
the
it, yeah.
scenes about the reveal of like in the Mandalorian when they were doing the production stuff and Filoni talked about it at Celebration. They didn't tell anybody initially out the gate it was Luke.
Yeah.
It was going to be another Jedi that Dave Filoni likes, Pol Koon.
Right.
oh
that
really?
survived Order
Nobody
66.
knew it was
Yeah.
Luke. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So they actually created like a 3D head bust. They had like the CGI guys there. They had
Oh, yeah?
everybody hyped
I
up about it. So the initial reactions when everybody sees Luke is natural
Mhm.
in that scene when he
Really?
pops up.
How does the
Nice.
fan of you Solo? I don't.
Yeah, I
That
I forgot
is
that movie existed.
That movie is an abortion.
That movie I knew was going to be bad from the get-go because you hired the Lego movie guys to write a Star Wars film.
Yeah, like Crazy
And let
Matt
them
said.
direct it.
I agree. When Crazy
I mean-
when you saw Luke's hand, and that's when I knew. I think that's when everybody knew it was Luke. And
Yeah.
the same thing with me when you saw his hand, and then obviously the lightsaber. I was just like, and again, you didn't see his face the entire time until he enters the room, and I'm like, oh my God, it is Luke. And I'm just bouncing up and down. I'm like,
But that's
babe,
the
it's
thing
Luke.
about Star
Like, it's
Wars
Luke.
is-
Luke's here.
Is the
Yeah.
good
So-
moments outweigh some of the shit that we got to deal with. Like
Yeah.
even in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And I love Bill Burr. But when Bill Burr did that whole that whole monologue with that Imperial officer when they're trying to get in there and you just watch Bill Burr slowly transition. It's the best that Bill Burr's ever
I
acted.
love Bill Burr, man.
And he pretty much tells that guy like about being a stormtrooper, talks about that night, which is done in the Battlefront 2 storyline. That
Battlefront
was
2,
one of the Emperor's like final moments was like, if I don't have the Death Star, then I'm going to systematically take out planets by using surgical satellites and literally just melting them. And there was a whole like group contingent of Imperial remnant that were carrying out the Emperor's will after the Emperor died. So he had like his last plans, his final
Basically, his big
solution.
FU to the universe, to the galaxy.
Yeah, he said he had Star Destroyers systematically put around the galaxy, and he's like, I'm going to kill all these guys, and they're not going to be able to stop me in time. So
Yep.
this is my giant FU to the universe. I might be dead, but I'm going to take some motherfuckers out with me.
Damn.
And Bill Burr was a part of, he was a stormtrooper that was a part of carrying out that crew, and that's why he left the Empire.
Yeah, because what they did is like they were when as soon as the message came through that the Emperor was dead, regardless of whether their people were still on the planet or not, they were ordered to start firing immediately. So the storm, so all these Imperials who were down or on the surface of the planet, they all of them died.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's a really
So
cool,
that monologue, knowing that you played the game and seeing like how Filoni does fan service and pays that off in Star Wars, knowing that Bill Burr was like, yeah, I was there. I was a part of it. I watched my own friends die, melt on a planet. And you're still sitting here holding these Imperial high-end convoluted ideals and beliefs when I watched my friends die and I couldn't do anything about it. That's why I love when he just pulled that blaster out and just blasted that son of a bitch.
Well, that makes sense because I didn't really know any of that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're running up here on midnight. So overall, starting with a comic book Bob, and we'll go around. What would you give it the rating of the show, and do you want a season 2?
I give it a 6, maybe a 6.5. It's not like I said, there's a lot of hyperbolic talk out there about how terrible it is. It's not great. It's very uneven. The stuff that like I said, the stuff that I liked about it, I liked. Vader is a freaking badass in this freaking show. It's worth watching once, but there's not a lot of rewatchability in it. And honestly, I'm not really excited for a season 2. I don't really think there's anywhere to go. I mean, I'm sure they can come up with something, but I'm not really interested in a season 2.
Crazy Mad says 4 out of 10, and no, I don't want a season 2. I feel you on that. What about you, Steve?
I think we're gonna get a season 2 regardless.
We're gonna get one. Yeah, we're
gonna get one regardless of how you feel about it. I mean, I'm never gonna trounce on Ewan McGregor because he was the saving grace of that show.
Yeah,
in my mind, that's if he wouldn't have came back. Not that I don't see how you do an Obi-Wan show without him.
Yeah, right.
But,
yeah, no.
But the fact that he was jazzed about it, and the fact that we got lightsaber fights at the end that were equal to Revenge of the Sith in their magnitude and their physicality, and we got to see Vader go off the chain. We got to like all those other things that expanded universe geeks play, like the Force, Fallen Order, Rebels, all that stuff came back to play into this. I liked it. Am I going to rewatch it? Probably not. I'll probably go back and rewatch Rebels now. Right. So for that reason alone, I like that it's a Filoni gateway drug that if some people even thought it was okay, you could go, hey, go watch this shit instead. Go play this shit instead. So, yeah, I give it a pass. I mean, I give it a C. Like if I was going to give it a letter grade, it got a pass. It's not as bad as everybody plays it out to be.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of there's just a lot of bad blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Like I said, it's just these anti-nerd things where you gotta like almost Friday Night Tights. You have to hate it, and you're like, I don't want to be part of that clique. I don't want to hate it. There's more good in this. That it's easy to hate on shit all day long and make clickbait.
It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Right? Like it's not the worst thing. I mean, I'll tell you the worst thing I've ever seen right now. And if you want to worry about bad adaptations, just look at the goddamn Halo show on Paramount Plus.
Oh Jesus!
I haven't even
wanted to check it out.
Like, if you want to bitch about anything, bitch about that show because other than the name and other than the dude in the suit, it doesn't resemble Halo whatsoever. So Obi-Wan's a C for me.
So Stoneman said he gives it a 4. Take Reva's arc out and gives it a 6. That's definitely fair. What about you, Leandro?
I'm a 5. I'm a 5 on it. I'm 50-50. And I second everything they said. Definitely.
Make a highlight reel of the show, and it'll be in.
If you could condense it down, and you could edit it to the point where it's just transfixed on Obi-Wan, Anakin, and the Leia storyline, and you could find a way to take that 6 hours and cut it into 2,
I think it'd be much better.
Yeah, because I think what I mostly enjoyed about it was just the nostalgia.
Yeah,
the member berries, man.
Factor.
Yep, yeah, for sure. Hail to Phoenix, hail to the dying days of YouTube. Good to see you guys here. I would give it a 6 also. I think that's where I settled on right after I got done watching it. A lot of stuff that you could just throw out that I would not care about, but the cool stuff in the show was good enough to keep me entertained, and I enjoyed that. So that's what I'll remember. When I look back on Obi-Wan, I'm only remembering the Darth Vader stuff and the cool stuff. Everything else, you could have taken away so much and made it an actual movie, and it would have been probably so much better, like everybody was saying.
But that's how most Star Wars is, man. Like, does anybody really remember too much of like the Phantom Menace? No, they remember Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
I was so mad when they killed him. I was like,
you're not a real Star Wars fan if you can't go like, hey, I watched the prequels. It's like, okay, from what do you remember from the prequels? Episode 1, I remember that fight with Darth Maul. Episode 2, I remember the Yoda fight. Episode 3, I remember the Obi-Wan Anakin fight. So Star Wars has always been a series of memories. There's always some stuff that's going to fall down. Even with George Lucas writing it, directing it, you don't remember a lot of that, but there's still these integral pieces that last the test of time that you enjoy as Star Wars. We can't say that necessarily about current Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a whole nother friggin' discussion, man.
I mean, some of the Star Trek.
Some of the current Star Trek.
It's entertaining.
Current Star Trek.
Current Star Trek.
Strange New Worlds is actually decent.
I'm tired. I'm talking about the movies.
The movies.
Yeah, but like I'm just saying, like the criticism, like, have we watched the same Star Wars? Because I remember Star Wars as a series of memories. I just don't look at the whole thing and go, "It's a masterpiece. This is the greatest thing ever." No, I look at the movies and I remember moments from those movies, And
Yeah.
so on that judgment alone, it was Star Wars.
I was 5 years old when the first one came out. It's the first
Was I
time
scared of Darth Vader in this show? Yeah, because he did badass shit.
Dude, Vader was
And
awesome.
again, to wrap everything up here, they did a great job of making Darth Vader intimidating, which was good to see that. So
His
Rogue
presence.
One leading into this did a fantastic job of making that character intimidating again in a way that we haven't seen him. You know, we've never seen Darth Vader like this. So
Rip
that
a
was
shuttle
cool to see.
down,
Yeah, that was cool to see.
God,
do a whole like master fight without a lightsaber and kick that chick's ass.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. I haven't watched any of these. It's like the first gen of gaming console. I'll wait to see how the masses feel.
Good luck.
I didn't hate Picard season 1. Really, I need to check it
God.
out, but I
They
feel
watch
like I
season
don't
2.
want to.
Watch season 2.
Watch season 2 and you'll hate it.
Season 1 was so freaking bad.
And it gets
Was
worse
it?
with season 2 because they bring in
Oh.
Q.
That's
Oh,
why
they-
I don't want to watch it, because I loved The Next Generation so much. I grew
Yeah.
up with it. It was a family thing. We watched it like every Thursday when it would come on, back when they had prime time on Thursday or whatever. And
Jeez, they
I
ruined
don't
the
want to watch what they're going to do with it. I just don't.
They
so,
do.
like, there's-
They
It's all
ruined
political.
They ruined Q. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's 100% political. They ruined Q. They ruined the Borg.
Mm.
I mean, like straight up ruined the Borg.
But if you want to
It's-
watch good Star Trek,
Ugh.
the Orville is on
Yes.
Hulu.
I have heard that.
Yep, and
I
the new
have heard that
season.
that's
The new
good.
season
I
just
enjoy the
started.
Orville.
Yeah.
It's pretty entertaining.
Yep.
So there's alternatives. There's great things in the mainstream. If you look at it through rose-tinted glasses and you just think everything's shit, you're never going to be able to enjoy anything. And who really wants to hang out with those guys? We're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like everything. It's like, calm down, dude. Not everything. Look, just at a certain point, you got to be happy that some shit is made.
Yeah.
At a certain point,
Yeah.
you know, like I get it. Michael Bay's Transformers is not Shakespeare. It's never going to win an Academy Award. But I got to see Optimus Prime in a film voiced by Peter Cullen. I can't
Yeah.
be mad at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably where I fall too. Like I'm very easily entertained. Just entertain me. I don't
That's
get
what it
too
is. It's
wrapped. I don't get too
entertainment.
wrapped up in a lot of the, like I said, the fake outrage, in my opinion, of certain things when it comes to our culture of stuff, whatever it might be. Because one is their movies, their entertainment. It's not that important compared
Then
to
don't
life
watch
and
it.
everything. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it's,
Put your energy.
that's how I
elsewhere.
look at stuff. Next generation cat suits are gay as fuck. I like them. At a certain point, you need to walk away, and that time is long since passed for live action Star Wars for me. And I feel it. And,
Okay.
and again, if that's the way people feel,
get
and that's the whole thing with this entire discussion, everybody's right. Whatever you feel about it is right to me, you know.
But I'm just saying, don't get so upset. Don't get so transfixed.
Oh,
Don't get
absolutely.
So angry at everything that you can't sit back and enjoy the past or enjoy an alternative or enjoy something different. If something's upsetting you, then go find something and be happy. But don't be that asshole sitting on a fence throwing rocks at people because they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll never fault anybody for liking something I don't like, and or vice versa for not liking something that I like.
Right? No, that came through this time. Your ADD and dyslexia didn't transpose it, man. Yeah. I was picking up what you were dropping down.
Did he just go cross-eyed?
I gotta take off. Man. I gotta take off, Joe. I gotta get ready for work. But this was fun.
Yeah, I was
man.
about to say
we gotta do
ending
this again.
Yep, absolutely. We're ending this anyway, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will
Happy
see
birthday,
you all
Bob.
later. Yeah, happy birthday, Bob.
Thanks,
Everybody.
guys.
Everyone have a good
Happy
night.
birthday,
I'll
guys.
talk to you later. Peace.